because nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. Discover your options at Blue Chew NZ. At checkout, just cover $5 for shipping. That's BlueChew.com and get your first month free. BlueChew.com and get your first month free. A small chew for a big difference. Then you'll be ready to chew it and do it.
Hey friends, it's noisy out there with information coming at us all day, every day. It's hard to know what to trust, and the world of wealth management is no exception. That's why UMB Private Wealth Management helps you tune out the noise and tune into what matters most. They'll create a financial plan based on your unique goals, so it's your voice that comes through loud and clear. Get financial clarity. Go to umb.com/private wealth to schedule an appointment. That's umb.com/private wealth.
We get it. Attention spans just aren't what they used to be. Heads in social media and eyes on Netflix. But what do people do with their ears? Well, for one, they're listening to audio. Americans spend 4.4 hours with audio every day. Oh, and you want the proof? Well, you just sat through this ad that's now approaching 30 seconds. What could you say to a potential customer in 30 seconds? Let Odyssey put together a media plan tailor-made for your unique marketing needs. Advertise with Odyssey. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Hey, it's Creed Humphrey. The Chiefs Radio Network pregame show starts 3 hours before kickoff, right here on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Boy, it feels good to be back. It's been a minute. Last time I was on this show was about a week ago. More than that, even. Been doing a lot of Cody and Gold recently, of course, over the holiday, but happy to be back on here now for After Hours on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. Logan Weber here alongside Jackson Ogden. Full slate tonight. 3-hour show hanging around until 9 p.m. This evening, we'll talk college basketball throughout the night as well. A couple of big ones. KU against UConn and Mizzou, Notre Dame. Tigers are finally going to see some competition that matters for the first time this year. It's only early December, and they haven't played anybody yet.
Yeah, they're finally facing a real team.
Hey, that's sort of how...
I saw so far their schedule is 364th out of 365.
Oh, it's a dumpster fire, man.
Minnesota was really the only real team they played in the month of November.
And Minnesota is a bottom feeder in the Big Ten
this year
with a first-year head coach.
Yeah.
They're a program that is crawling is the best way.
It might be the least confident 8-0 I've ever felt. It's like, how do you even leave it feeling good?
Yeah,
you don't even know what you have.
You beat Minnesota. You beat SEMO by 5. That's not great. That's not a beauty of a win there. You blew out Cleveland State and South Carolina State and South Dakota and Prairie View. And I mean, I'm not saying that I'm speaking as an Iowa fan. I'm not saying that Iowa's played all of these absolute ringers to begin the year for their 7-0 start.
They've had some good games.
They beat Ole Miss and Grand Canyon over at the Acrisure Series last week over in Cali.
They're an immediate contender with Bennett Sturtz transferring there. I mean,
fair.
he is one of the top 10 best college basketball players in the country.
He's a lot of fun to watch.
That's very good from around here.
And yeah, it's wild for me.
From Liberty.
Because I watched him when he was a freshman at Northwest Missouri State, which is so bizarre. To watch this kid who 2 years ago, Bennett Sturtz, was second team all MIAA. Yeah. He was second team all conference at a Division II school 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, he's the MVC Player of the Year and is a consensus All-American. And now this year, the guy's on every watch list imaginable, and people are talking about him being a top 20 pick in the NBA draft.
I'll do you one even better, Logan. My senior year at Liberty, he was a freshman there. So
that's nuts.
I'm very good friends with his brother, who was also in my grade. So I've known about Bennett for a while, and it is absolutely insane to see him doing this right now. I got to say, it was painful to see him do it to my Tigers last year in the tournament.
Yeah, fair.
That was painful, and his brother let me hear about it. But, you know, all wishing the best for him, and Iowa's legit. They're a legit contender this year, I'm telling you.
They've been fun to watch. So they play defense, which is the first time I've seen Iowa basketball play defense in 15 years. Since Fran McCaffrey arrived at Iowa, they'd score 90. Problem is their defense would give up 95. The number of times I watched Iowa put up triple digits and lose was astronomical. I mean, the fact that it happened once is bad enough, but it had to have happened 25 times.
Yeah.
When I was growing up watching Iowa basketball under Fran
it
McCaffrey.
even felt in the Luka Garza days that they were in a bunch of shootouts.
Oh, yeah,
So it was-
absolutely. They could score with anybody. The
Yeah.
problem is they couldn't defend anybody.
Which is
And-
weird because Iowa football is the exact opposite.
Uh-huh.
They can stop anybody, they can't score on anybody.
Oh, it is whiplash
It
to
is-
go from
they flip them.
Yeah, there were times where it would be like a Saturday night sort of game where like Iowa would have like a noon kickoff and then the Iowa men's team would play a game at like 7 p.m.
Yeah.
and you'd watch the football team win 13-10 and then watch the basketball team win 98-94 and you're like,
Yeah.
what in the world is happening right now?
Hey, speaking of your Hawkeyes, they're coming out with the college football playoff rankings right now, 23rd.
Oh, really?
Iowa Hawkeyes, yeah, they just
Wow.
pulled up the graphic here on the TV. They're 23rd.
I can't say that I predicted. I did not anticipate them getting into the CFP top 25. I mean, I understand that they just got a huge win, but they're 8-4, so I wasn't totally sure that they would be in the top 25.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it's going to matter because they're obviously not getting into
They're
the
not
college
getting in the
football
playoff,
playoff.
no, but still nice to be ranked.
But hey, man,
I'll
this
keep
is
you
an
updated,
interesting.
Logan, 'cause
Yeah,
this is going to be an interesting what they do here.
this is going to be fascinating to see how the CFP Top 25 shakes out here with conference championship games coming up this weekend. But there are a lot of teams under consideration tonight and where their spot is in the rankings that aren't playing in conference championship games. So you look at a team that's 11-1 or 10-2, if they're sitting there at 7 or 8, knowing that they don't have a conference title game
Right.
to compete in, you're in the field of 12. Get ready to compete in the college football playoff.
Well, and that they just came out with 20 through 16. Virginia, who's playing in the ACC title game, is 16 or 17th. Tulane's 20th. Obviously, some coaching things there with Tulane. USC up to 16. Not a ton here. I think the ACC is in danger of missing out entirely.
Yeah. If
Especially
Virginia loses,
if Duke wins that,
yeah,
they might miss out entirely. Virginia, though, in a spot where they might make it.
that's going to be
It's
interesting
gonna
to
be
see,
wild.
man.
They're starting with the top 15 right now.
And-
I'll let you know if anything interesting happens.
It makes you, you kind of harken back to when programs like Miami and others were talking about leaving the ACC. This is what they were afraid of.
Yeah.
When bad things happen, a team like Miami that goes 10-2 has a marquee win against Notre Dame early on in the year,
Yeah.
but you lost 2 games in the ACC. You took control of your own destiny away from yourself, and you miss out on a conference title game entirely. And that may just be, even though you're 10-2, that might be the death nail that keeps you out of the college football playoff, because a 10-2 team in the ACC that didn't even get to the conference title game versus a 10-2 or 11-1 Big 10 or SEC or even a Big 12 school, like BYU may lose to
Yeah,
Texas
they
Tech
very
this
well could,
weekend,
yeah.
but I think they'll both get in over a team like Miami in that situation.
Well,
I'm
here's
not-
my problem: is if you don't put Miami in, how can you put Notre Dame in? When Miami beat them head to head, and they
I'm
both
100%
they
with
both
you.
went 10-2. By the way, Vandy 14, going above them, even though they have one more loss. Texas up to 13.
That's
It's
disgusting.
absurd. They're gonna do anything they can to
Dude,
get Arch in the
Texas
postseason.
Texas gets into the college football playoff at 9-3. Just blow the whole thing up.
Miami's 12th on the ranking, and they're not in their conference title game.
Right. And right now 12 doesn't do you any good.
No.
Right? 11, the top 11 is kind of where you want to be, cuz that 12th is going to go to the
of
highest
five.
ranked non-group of 5 school, a Tulane or a North Texas or even a James Madison, a
Madison, yeah.
JMU. So being at 12 is the exact opposite of where you want to be. That's going to be interesting, man. Let's get things sort of rolling on the program
Sure,
tonight
sure.
a little bit more with, of course, talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, that they are what is happening in the city right now. Except what's happening is not fun for anybody.
Nope.
We've all had a chance to sit here over the last 5 days and fester over what happened on Thursday. And I'm not going to get into the weeds of what happened on Thursday against the Cowboys. We all saw it. We've all had to sit in it for 5 days. I went back and watched the broadcast replay and caught some of the all 22. It was what you thought it was. The defensive line got no push. Therefore, the secondary got picked apart the entire game because Dak Prescott was never, ever in any sort of danger of being hit or pressured while he was throwing the football. Mahomes and the offense got off to a rip-roaring start in the first quarter. Second quarter, things really slowed down for them. In the second half, they were trying to play catch-up, and it was too little too late. That's how things shake out. Regardless, this team is now sitting at 6-6, needing to win out and get a ton of help at this point in the year, right? You look around, here's a fascinating thing. Hey, the Jacksonville Jaguars are actually leading the AFC South division right now.
And I was going to talk about this with you. Chiefs fans should be rooting for the Jaguars
Exactly.
to win that division because they have the head-to-head with Indianapolis.
100% with
and
you.
they can get the head-to-head with Houston on Sunday.
Something I never thought we would have a conversation
No,
about.
Did not think we'd be talking about that.
Did not think that Indianapolis was in any sort of danger
I didn't
of
either.
losing their lead in the AFC South. I did not have a ton of faith in the Jacksonville Jaguars, even after they beat the Chiefs in that Monday night game. I still didn't think that they were a team that you could honestly be fearful of, especially if you were the Colts. But really, since I would argue probably that game in was it Germany or were they in London maybe? That international game they played against the Falcons where they had to scratch and claw and fight their way out of it. I would even argue before that game against the Steelers is really when things started to unravel for them. When Daniel Jones has 5 turnovers in that game, he turned it over 2 more times. Despite them beating the Falcons, he didn't play extremely well against the Chiefs. You know, they basically shut down Jonathan Taylor and said, okay, Daniel, go out and beat us, and he couldn't do it. You then come back and you play the best defense in football in the Houston Texans, and for a team that was absolutely rolling before that Steelers game, they were, 7-1 before that Steelers game? You've now lost 3 of your last 4, and this last few weeks of the season is going to be huge for them. They've got Jacksonville at home at noon on Sunday. Or not, I take that back.
In Jacksonville.
In Jacksonville
Right.
at noon on Sunday.
Right.
And then they go on the road to play the Seattle Seahawks.
Which is a very tough place to play.
That's in my opinion, that is the most underrated defense in the National Football
great.
League. That
They're
the
great.
Seattle, their secondary in Seattle is extremely young and extremely talented. So that's going to be a tough one there. I think that's going to depend on which version of Sam Darnold shows up, because when he's good, he's great. But when he's bad, he's awful.
Yeah, there's no middle ground.
No. And then it's the San Francisco 49ers on Monday Night Football the next week. A 49ers team that, despite the entire roster seemingly being on the stretcher or in the injury tent, is still finding ways to win football games and still somehow has an opportunity to win their division.
Yeah.
The NFC West is loaded, and the Rams opened the door by losing to the Carolina Panthers on Sunday. You then have to host Jacksonville on December 28th at home on a Sunday night game, so somewhat of a short week there. And then week 18 on the road against Houston. I do not like how that final 6 weeks of the season shapes up, or 5 weeks of the season shapes up for
There's not a single
Indy.
layup within that final stretch. I mean, you think about it, they've already got Tennessee twice. They've already played the Raiders. Some of those easier games have already been played on their schedule. So now it's really to a point where they still control their own destiny. They get Jacksonville twice. They still get Houston again. You know, if they win out, they will win the AFC South. But it's very difficult. And from a Chiefs perspective, if you're worried about that wild card, which at this point, the AFC West is gone. So just start worrying about the wild card. You would kind of prefer Jacksonville to take that division.
Yep, you absolutely would, because you get the head-to-head over Indy, who's the 6th seed right now at 8-4, and that last 5 weeks of the season leads you to believe, hey, if they drop they drop 2 games in that final 5, which is very, very possible, I would border on a guarantee. Then you finish, say, 11-6, and Indy finishes 11-6. You've got the head-to-head. This Sunday is going to be massive for their chances. Houston at home, Sunday Night Football. You win that game, you end up in a tie with Houston for the 8th seed in the AFC West, and you own the head-to-head against them. You don't own the head-to-head against Buffalo, which is the only other wild card team. But again, you're vying for one of 3 wild card spots. So if you've got head-to-heads over 3 of the 4 teams you're competing against in the wild card, I like your chances.
Well, it would flip what we've been dealing with right now, which has been the Chargers have the head-to-head, the Bills have the head-to-head, and the Jags have the head-to-head. If you can flip that on its head to where the Chargers don't have the head-to-head anymore because you split, the Texans don't have the head-to-head because you beat them, the Colts don't have the head-to-head because you beat them, it looks drastically different. Then at that point, the only wild card team that has the head-to-head over you is Buffalo.
Yeah, the problem with the Chargers is you would split the season series, so the head-to-head record would be a wash.
Right.
But then they'd look towards, I believe, your conference record in a wild card setting.
But they still got, I don't know if you've peeped their schedule, but they still have the Cowboys, the Eagles. They have to go to Denver to end the season. Of course, they have to come to Kansas City. Like, the Chargers' schedule is very difficult down the stretch.
It is. It absolutely is. The problem is that 2 of the 5 teams they have remaining are NFC teams. So that has no real impact on your conference schedule, which would be the tiebreaker that would determine Chiefs-Chargers if the Chiefs were to beat them head-to-head later this year. So you have to more or less hope. But they're sitting at 7-2 right now in AFC games. The Chiefs have to obviously beat them, win out, and likely have the Chargers lose another game.
Denver, maybe.
Because Kansas City's 3-4 in the AFC right now.
I think if Kansas City goes 11-6, they'll make it. I do really believe that if they win the rest of these games, which is a big if with the way they've played, but if they do win these final games, and let's be honest here, they've been a much different team at home than on the road. They have 3 home games left. They're 5-1 at home. If they can take care of those, even though they've been bad on the road this year, their only road games left are at the Titans and at the Raiders. 2 very, very winnable. Basically, you have to win. I mean, if you don't win those games, it's a wash, right?
Yeah.
The season's over.
Yeah, it should be over.
So,
right? A Titans team that doesn't have a head coach, or a permanent head coach, I should say, and a Raiders team that doesn't have an offensive coordinator.
Your 2 road games left are a joke. So if you can take care of those, it really comes down to, can you take care of these 3 difficult AFC home games, starting this Sunday with Houston, Chargers, and then Christmas night with Denver.
Yeah, that Christmas game against Denver is going to be fascinating, in my opinion.
Well, it depends if they win these next 2.
That's what I'm saying.
If they don't take care of the Chargers and Texans, that game won't even matter.
Right, because they've got the Broncos. If the Chiefs continue to win and they get to that Christmas Day game and they've won 3 in a row,
they're 9-6, right?
You're looking at a Broncos team that is 10-3 right now.
No, they're 10-2, I believe.
Okay, yeah, you're right. They're 10-2. The Patriots are 11-2. Patriots haven't had their bye yet. I believe that's coming this week.
Yeah.
So they've got the Raiders this weekend. You should win that game, and then it's the Packers, Jags, and then the Chiefs.
Not the easiest 3-game stretch.
It's not. But with Chargers, with the Chiefs and Chargers games, the last 2 of your schedule this year, if the Broncos, let's just, for the sake of the argument, they win out. They win those 3 games, and they are 13-2 when they play the Chiefs. Do their starters really play?
Yeah, I mean, I think they'd still have the chance at the 1 seed.
I think they
comes down to
absolutely
that
would.
not for the division, but they'd be playing for the 1 seed to answer your question.
I honestly think the Chiefs' best scenario might be for them to go 2-1 over the next 3.
I think the division,
because they'll have the division completely and utterly under wraps. That'll be taken care of.
If it really already is.
I agree with you. I'm just saying, for the argument of cut print 100%, the Broncos win the division. If they come into that Christmas Day game and they're sitting at 12-3 with only 2 games left, Chiefs and Chargers are incapable of catching them. They have the division. Their chances of getting the 1 seed, if the Patriots continue to win, is pretty slim. So I hate that we're having that conversation right now.
I still feel like
that we're
Logan,
discussing the possibility of, hey, will the Broncos just rest their starters and give the Chiefs a chance? There's no chance. I don't think Sean Payton would allow that.
I don't even think if they had it clinched, they would. I don't even think if they had the 1 seed clinched, they want to knock Kansas City out.
Yes, 100%. A chance to knock the king completely out of the kingdom. Do it.
You take the shot when you can, because if you let the champ just get a little bit of breath, It's all they need. You got to kill them while you have the chance.
Yep.
So I expect Denver to play everybody that night, obviously. But I do believe if the Chiefs win these next 3, that Denver game becomes win and go to the postseason for Kansas City because they will take care of the Raiders the next week.
Yeah.
It really comes down to that Christmas night. If they can win that game, if they win these next 4, that Christmas night game, I think at 10-6 going into the final week of the season, it'll be a win and in scenario if they do that.
Ugh, I don't like any of it.
It's an odd spot to be in. It's been a long time.
Any of it. I'm confident, obviously, about the Titans game and the Raiders game, and I feel pretty good about the Chargers game. I know that he's going to be able to play, but you can't ignore the fact that Justin Herbert just had hand surgery. Again, I understand it's not his throwing hand, but still, that guy just had surgery. He's day-to-day dealing with that. How much is that going to limit him? How much is that going to make him a little bit gun-shy, afraid in the pocket, those sorts of things, maybe more liable for to mistakes? I don't know. So I feel a little bit better about that Chargers game. But the Houston game on Sunday night, if they lose that, it's over.
Yeah,
You lose to Houston,
over.
Cut it.
It's not mathematically over, but it's over.
Absolutely put a fork in them. But say they win the next 3, that Christmas Day game.
It's for everything. It's to make it. It's to really get in at that point.
It's the biggest regular season game for the Chiefs in a decade plus.
Probably, yeah.
And, we've had that conversation over and over and over again. We said that Colts game was maybe the biggest regular season game of Mahomes' career. They win the next 3, and you're sitting at 9-6 with the Broncos coming to Arrowhead on Christmas Day with 3 days to prepare. That is the biggest jump of your season. Hopefully they can play better than they did. Maybe the short week is what they need because the bye week didn't help them the first time around. 913-586-7965 is our number. We'll talk more Chiefs throughout the program. We've got Jordan Foote coming up at 6:30 to talk Chiefs and talk National Football League throughout the program as well. I want to talk about some Kansas City Royals news. Winter meetings are next week, and the rumor mill is starting to heat up about what the the Royals could possibly do to try to get some outfield help. We'll talk about that next here on After Hours, 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Hi, this is Kevin Harlan, and I'm here to tell you Rob Sight Ford is closing in on a record-setting year, and they're doing whatever it takes to get there.
That's right, Kevin. We're pulling out all the stops to finish the year strong. 0% for up to 66 months on most Ford models, including F-150s, Escapes, Explorers, Super Duties, and Transits. Top dollar trade-ins and pricing other dealers won't match.
If you've been waiting for the moment to buy, this is it. We've got the vehicles. We've got the deals. We just need one thing, you behind the wheel.
Impeccable rhyme, Kevin. But hey, this is simple, upfront, and easy, and it all ends January 5th.
Kansas City's only top-rated Ford dealer on Google. 4.8 stars, nearly 3,000 reviews, and voted best car dealership in Kansas City by Kansas City Magazine. And now, we're going for the finish line. Rob Sight Ford. Buy right with Rob Sight.
135th and State Line or ROBSIGHT.com. You want inventory, you want price, you want more for your trade, let's make it happen.
End the year in a Ford before this event drives off.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, it's Joshua Briscoe. Join me live at Harrah's Kansas City this Saturday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Come out and celebrate the recent Caesars Sportsbook launch in Missouri and meet former Chiefs running back Christian Okoye. Bet the game day action right from your phone. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app now and use promo code RADIOMO. See Caesars.com/promos or the promotions tab on the app for full terms. Must be 21 plus to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Kansas City Proton Institute, we're delivering the future of cancer care with state-of-the-art proton therapy right here in KC. If you have breast, head and neck, or brain cancer, proton therapy may be a better treatment than conventional radiation. Don't wait. Get your second opinion at Kansas City Proton Institute. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced proton therapy team. Learn more at kcpi.com. Kansas City Proton Institute, where you see the best in KC.
Hey, football fans, tune in this week to Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL. Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by the Home Depot. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Available at the Home Depot. How pros get more done.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Tonight, expect a low of 30 with mostly cloudy skies.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have an easy holiday at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, shipping supplies and services to get your packages there safely, even custom cards and wrapping paper. Staples. That was easy.
Join us live at Harrah's Kansas City this Saturday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Celebrate the recent Caesars Sportsbook launch in Missouri with us and meet former Chiefs running back Christian Okoye. Must be 21 plus to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
96.5 The Fan is your exclusive home for Chiefs football, with pregame starting 3 hours before kickoff with Josh Briscoe. Then it's the call of the game with Mitch Holtis, Dayton Hughes, and Josh Klingler.
Touchdown! Kansas City! Travis Kelce owning this game!
Followed by postgame coverage featuring exclusive one-on-one interviews with Andy Reid and Chiefs players inside the locker room. This is your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
I know there's snow still on the ground, and obviously it's not baseball weather by any means, but next week is the winter meetings for Major League Baseball, and things are already beginning to heat up when it comes to conversations that the Royals may try to have next week, or may already be having, in regards to outfield help. I saw this article earlier today from Ann Rogers. She is the Royals writer for MLB.com. And she says that the Royals it's anticipated that they are going to be active at the winter meetings when it comes to potentially trading away a rotational piece to try to get some outfield help. And she mentioned a couple of names that the Royals may try to kick the tires on. No surprise, Jarren Duran of the Boston Red Sox. He has been one of the more marquee names that has been thrown around for a while. A guy who really had a phenomenal year back in 2024, the best year of his career. Despite the fact that he's 31 years old, he still has 3 years of team control left. He's entering his first year of arbitration this offseason. So you'll have 2 more years of arbitration the next 2 seasons after that before he'll be a free agent, I believe the winter of 2028. So that's a good sign if you're the Royals. Now, by that time, he'll be 34 years old, and who knows what his market value even looks like at that point. But there's some of that team control that we've talked about. Not to mention, the Red Sox have already said that they're ready to move on from Jarren Duran. They have a ton of prospects in their minor league system that play in the outfield that they want to get up into the system sooner rather than later and give them ample opportunity. Well, having an all-star in left field kind of slows down that possibility. So Duran's the first name mentioned. Another is Brendan Donovan of the St. Louis Cardinals. I love the idea of Brendan Donovan. He was an all-star this last year, hit .287. He's been really good the last couple of years. He's been, I would argue, probably their biggest piece in terms of their offense. He'd probably cost you a little bit more than Duran would. And you also have the problem of how much outfield he plays versus the amount of infield that he plays. He has played most of his career at second base. He is a utility. He won a Gold Glove as a utility player back in 2022. But when he's out on the field, a lot of that time, the majority of that time, is spent at second base. So with India and Michael Massey already on the roster, what do you do with Adam Frazier? It sort of slows down, I think, that one. Another one's Brenton Doyle of the Colorado Rockies. He hit 260. His F-WAR was up over 3.5. That was back in 2024. In 2025, the guy hit 233. He is a phenomenal glove in center field, meaning if you were to bring him over, somebody has to go to left field. Which one that is, I don't know. And then the last one, and this is an interesting one, going to cost the Royals a lot for a one-year rental. Nick Castellanos of the Philadelphia Phillies. $20 million salary coming up this year. It's the final year of his deal. He's 34 years old, and he's coming off a year where he regressed. He only hit 250 with a 400 slugging and an on-base percentage of under 290 or 295. He hit 294 was his OBP. And he only hit 17 home runs. And Nick Castellanos has never been known as a solid glove in left field. So $20 million for a guy who's regressing, I'm not super keen on. What makes you perk your ears up a little bit more at the idea of Jarren Duran is an article that I read a couple of hours ago, actually, from the Boston Globe. Alex Spire, who's the writer for the Boston Globe, said that the Red Sox may be looking at Royals starting pitcher Cole Ragans. How do we feel about that? Cole Ragans being the trade piece.
I wouldn't deal him for Duran.
I would need more than Duran.
It's not that I wouldn't deal Ragans, because there is a deal out there that I could find myself doing. He's not Bobby Witt Jr. Bobby Witt Jr. to me is untradeable. There's not a piece in baseball I would trade him for. Not even Ohtani because of the age. I think Cole Ragans, I think it could definitely happen. But just for Duran straight up, no, not enough.
You're probably going to have to toss in a prospect or two, right?
They'd have to sweeten the deal.
JJ Piccolo, the Royals general manager, was asked, is anyone considered off limits? You know, is Cole Ragans off limits? And he said, I wouldn't say off limits. There would have to be a really big return for one starter in particular. I believe that starter to be Cole Ragans. Because the Royals have given him the long-term extension to avoid the arbitration altogether. When he's healthy, he's phenomenal. Yes, I know that there's injury issues, but there's injury issues with Chris Bubich as well. And one could argue that when healthy, Cole Ragans is the better pitcher, at least sustainably over the last few seasons. I don't know. That one's going to be interesting to watch. We'll see if the Royals get something done over the next couple of weeks. You guys are overvaluing Cole. He never stays healthy. Isn't that good? And Chris Bubich is a super healthy player.
But when Cole Ragans does stay healthy, he's a Cy Young pitcher. And to say, I get it, he's had his injuries. That's a fair point, and I think that would be a partial reason why the Royals would be somewhat okay with moving off of him. But I don't think we're overvaluing him. He's got elite stuff.
No, Chris Bubich has injury history.
Out of every pitcher on the staff, he has the best stuff. I'm not saying he's the best pitcher, but he has ace stuff. He can just blow by guys with his fastball. I think, is he a top 5 pitcher in baseball? No. We're not going to go crazy, but he's a damn good pitcher. He is a really, really good starter in this league.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the best starting pitcher on the Royals staff.
When healthy.
Yeah. Seth Lugo has injury history. He's 35 years old. They just gave him a massive extension, and he fell off a cliff after that.
Logan, everyone on this starting 5 went on the IL last year.
This person has to be trolling. Absolutely has to be trolling. In what world is he a Cy Young pitcher? I don't know. The world where 2024 existed, where he went 11-9 with a 3.14 ERA and finished 4th in the Cy Young Award voting. That world where he was quite literally a Cy Young pitcher.
All-star as well.
Let's figure it out here a little bit. What do you think? 913-586-7965 is the number. We may get back into some Royals conversation a little bit later on, but we're going to have Jordan Foote on with us next from Heavy On Sports to talk Kansas City Chiefs. Coming up next, Logan Weber alongside Jackson Ogden, After Hours, 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
BetMGM is now available in Missouri. The wait is over, and BetMGM, of course, I said it, is now available in Missouri. Sports fans in Missouri can sign up for BetMGM and get up to $1,500 paid back in bonus bets if their first bet loses. Enjoy a betting app that was designed for game day with features like live bets, same-game parlays, and BetMGM reward points. Plus, be on the lookout for surprise boosts dropping in your account all throughout the season. Sign up now for BetMGM and get up to $1,500 paid back in bonus bets if your first bet loses. BetMGM, it's everything a sports fan could want in one app. BetMGM is now available in Missouri. Sign up today. BetMGM, make it legendary. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements and minimum deposit of $10. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly.
Calling all holiday bakers, it's time to roll out to Hy-Vee and save some dough this Friday through Sunday. Get the season's hottest deals on dozens of baking essentials, like Hy-Vee brand flour, $1.48, cream cheese, $1.28, Hy-Vee brand chocolate chips, $2.48, and butter, just $2.49. Get ready to double those recipes and whip up some holiday magic this Friday through Sunday only at Hy-Vee.
My family and I love seafood. In fact, there isn't a week that goes by where we're not having salmon or shrimp or scallops. And I know that I can count on Hy-Vee for all of my seafood needs. And they're having their annual seafood sale. It's going on right now. So it's time to stock your freezer with the best prices of the year on crab legs, lobster tail, jumbo shrimp, and scallops. Whether you're entertaining at home or want to bring something special to a holiday gathering, don't miss the huge annual crab and seafood sale only at Hy-Vee.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
On the golf tee, it's Skechers World Champions Cup. Watch it live December 4th and 5th on ESPN and ESPN Plus, 12 to 4 p.m. It's PGA Champions Tour golfers from all over the world. Team USA versus Team Europe versus Team International. Watch it live December 4th and 5th on ESPN and ESPN Plus, 12 to 4 p.m. The competition will be tense, but feet will be comfy. Tune in to Skechers World Champions Cup. Final round of golf on Sunday, December 7th on ABC, 1 to 5 p.m.
What's up, football fans? Picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. Try a first touchdown scorer wager with confidence today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. This specific promotional offer is not available in Mississippi, Pennsylvania, Puerto Rico, or Ontario. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 in New York. In Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. In Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 in Puerto Rico. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
96.5 The Fan and the Kansas Lottery are giving you a shot at fourth quarter fortune with the chance to score a game day tailgate bundle and a $100 holiday instant ticket. Go to 965thefan.com for your chance to win. Must be 18 or older to enter.
Nobody's saying it's over. Well, maybe some people are saying it's over. And I definitely lean that way. I lean towards it being over. But we'll see if maybe I'm alone on that. On the line with us right now is Jordan Foote. He works for Heavy On Sports. And Jordan, you know, had you on plenty of times, had you on a couple weeks ago, and we had this conversation about, like, what's your level of concern? What's the level of panic with the Kansas City Chiefs? And you were a lot more confident than I was at that point in time. And I'm curious, are we still confident, or are we starting to panic a little bit?
I think, Logan, first of all, I hope you and Jackson had a great Thanksgiving holiday and
Thank you very
got to
much.
spend some time away from the madness that is the Kansas City Chiefs, even though they played on Thanksgiving anyway. But, man, if I had to rate it 1 through 10, I think I'm at a fairly strong 6.5, if not a decent 7. Like, I'm not hitting the 10. If they lose on Sunday to the Houston Texans, I'm full-blown, this season's cooked. They're a finished product type of thing. But I was on the simulator. I heard you guys chatting earlier about the scenarios they need. I'm kind of thinking if they do lose one game the rest of the way, it's probably best for them that it's like the Denver one where, okay, your division hope isn't really canned at that point. You kind of know what you need at that stage of the season. In my scenario, I went on the ESPN playoff machine and messed around on that. My scenario did have them losing to Denver in week 17 and still somehow making it in, but by far the easiest way is to take care of your own business and not leave it up to chance. The problem is that's all the Kansas City Chiefs have not done this year is take care of business, and they've left everything up to chance. So they're telling us they are not a good team. Now, not good teams can still make the playoffs, but, man, they need a heck of a lot of help if they're going to mess around. And I'd say, again, a 6.5, but probably more like a 7 coming into week 14.
Yeah, and looking at the last 5 weeks that the Chiefs have here, you know, you've got 3 games at home where they've been a much better football team. You've got 2 on the road. Those 2 road games are the Titans and the Raiders. So it's not like those are going to be raucous enemy environments that they are walking into. But this game Sunday against Houston is going to either be the beginning or the end, however you want to view it. How does this game shape up, in your opinion, for Kansas City? When you look at the Texans as a roster, the offense is playing better, and I think unbeknownst to a lot of people, the Houston Texans have the number 1 ranked defense in the NFL.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And to kind of go off your first point about how big this game is, Timo Risk, who does a lot of like really good PFF stuff, and I take some of those grades with a grain of salt, but their simulator for the playoffs is pretty decent. If the Chiefs win, they can go from like that 40% range to 60 to make the playoffs. If they lose, they can drop all the way to like 12 to 15. So the importance of this game can't be understated. It essentially is a single elimination divisional round or wild card round type of playoff feel that they're going to have. Being at home certainly helps, but Houston is a very, very, very tough opponent. And we saw on the Thanksgiving game, I think the inverse here. So Dallas had 2 really good wide receivers, George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, that continuously just feasted, made their presence felt. They were open all the time. The Chiefs' wide receivers and really their weapons overall, if you don't count running back, I'd say are fairly solid. Xavier Worthy, even banged up, is fine. Hollywood Brown has been fine. Juju's been fine. Kelsey has looked better. All of that good stuff. Rashee Rice is back. But Derek Stingley Jr., very tough. Lassiter is very tough. They have Bullock at safety, I believe. And that's not even mentioning how stout they are up front. And without Josh Simmons, for all intents and purposes, for the next, I'd say 3-4 weeks, if not the rest of the year, with his wrist injury, Jawan Taylor with the tricep ailment, we'll see. If he can get back for that game, we'll get a better idea on Wednesday and Thursday from Andy Reid. But the defense is incredibly tough to stop. And to your point, you can look at, let's say, the offensive success rate or points per drive or whatever efficiency metric you want for that Houston offense. It's a different beast with C.J. Stroud back and with a little bit of the run game stuff figured out. And against the Chiefs defense that, for the life of them, can't get off the field on third downs. So all of that to say, my mind is telling me the Chiefs are not going to find a way to win that game, but they're kind of like Michael Myers. I think my gut is telling me otherwise, that whether it's 20-13 or 23-17, something like that, the Chiefs will end up figuring out a way to not save the season, but at least keep it alive for a little bit longer.
I like the Michael Myers thing there. That's sort of what they've been in the NFL since Patrick Mahomes took over. This team that no matter what position you put them in, you could think that they were dead to rights, and you turn around and, it's that he's right behind me, isn't he? Sort of a meme with this Chiefs team where they always seemingly find a way to figure it out when it matters the most. But this year just hasn't necessarily felt that way. Is that what you see too?
No, 1,000%. And I think that a lot of us have come off as haters almost when we've said throughout this run, hey, this isn't going to last forever. Like, they're winning in spite of some stuff. Like, we need to provide some context here. And the natural and valid defense from a lot of people was kiss the Super Bowl rings, kiss the AFC championships. Like, this team is unfallible. Patrick Mahomes is absolutely perfect. And now we're seeing some real flaws in the coaching staff, a couple of weird Mahomes mistakes and performances. The roster construction has been iffy. The defense, Steve Spagnuolo seems almost outmatched at times with the limited personnel that he has. It's all coming to a forefront now for a team that went, 11-0, 12-0 in one-score games a season ago, and now luck isn't on their side anymore. The football gods are not favoring them quite as much, and also the human element of, I'm all for the constant progression to be the best, the undying drive, all of that. The Chiefs have been doing this for like 7-8 years now. Like, it is tough to continuously be at the mountaintop. So I wouldn't be surprised if they turned over a good chunk of the team they have in the offseason, even if they did, let's say, win out and got to even the Super Bowl and lost in the Super Bowl. If it's the AFC title game, the divisional round, no matter what it is, I don't think there will be any overlooking of stuff over the next handful of months. And for better or worse, I think there was a good deal of it because the results were so good that the process was kind of swept under the rug a little bit, and that can always be improved upon.
And, that's something that I don't feel like has been mentioned a lot as to reasons why this Chiefs team is struggling the way it is. We've heard things like lack of execution and poor mental focus and hubris, and like they've been so good for so long that they just expect it to happen. But do you think it could be burnout? Like you said, I mean, this team has been playing football into late January, if not early February, every single year for the last 8 years. I mean, every other NFL team is playing a 17-game regular season, maybe 18 or 19 games on average. This Chiefs team is constantly playing 20 to 21 football games year after year after year. And a lot of it has been, I would say over the last 3 years with a pretty small circle of guys, this core of the group that maybe they're just wore out a little bit.
Yeah, multiple points off of that. The first one, it isn't like 2023 and 2024, the regular seasons were easy on them either. Like, I know that they went, 15-2 last year, and really the one loss, if you don't count the final game of the year. Like, a lot of those games were draining. They were tough. You need, in order to sustain this level of dynasty, and people forget, and I think that it's probably the most commonly thrown around thing these days, the Patriots went 10 years between Super Bowl wins in their dynasty. Like, it's impossible to do what the Chiefs just did over the past 5 or 6 years twice in a row. You're going to have gap years. You're going to have mini rebuilds. You're going to have soft resets, whatever you want to call it, retooling periods that don't end in Super Bowl appearances, Super Bowl wins. And if you have a entire coaching staff, front office staff, and 53-man roster, and probably a few practice squad signings, and every trade you make during the year, and every free agent signing you make during the year, if those are all wired like a Michael Jordan or a Kobe Bryant, knock yourself out. You can cover up quite a bit. And this is not an indictment on anybody on the Kansas City Chiefs, but just that human element of constant success, constant attention, constant pressure to be the best. Like, it would get to 99.9% of people. That's just the law of averages. And I do think that You'll never be able to prove it for better or worse, but that burnout absolutely has to be at the forefront of someone's mind, and if not on their mind, they're at least showing it maybe in their play.
So looking at this team, and again, not saying that the season is over. We're not already looking ahead to the offseason necessarily, but it's obvious and apparent to anybody who watches the Chiefs or is a fan of the Chiefs, there are glaring holes on this roster. There are things that need to be patched up in order to improve this team for next year and in the immediate future. If you had to point out one particular thing, it could be a position group, it could be a player, it could be a coach, that you think would have the biggest impact on this team's chances of success moving forward, what would that be?
I'm going to cheat so hard here and pick one group on offense and one on defense if I can. I think that the running back spot has to be addressed in some way, and that doesn't mean trade up for Jeremiah Love or tank the rest of the season for him. You don't even have to take a running back in the first 2 rounds of the draft. But you have to either find a really impactful one mid to late day 2 of the draft, or you have to make a J.K. Dobbins type of signing, that level of player, a Rico Dowdle type move, a Javonte Williams type move. And it isn't like the Chiefs haven't tried to go after guys and get in talks for Breece Hall and find Elijah Mitchell, but their moves just haven't worked out. And that's partially just the run of the process and how things break and shake out. But also they have to be more proactive. I think it's smart with their scouting process. And you mentioned the hubris that they've kind of displayed a little bit. They have to go for traits, I think, and youth and sometimes inexperience and athleticism and things like that. Parlaying into my point here, defensively, they need pass rush guys that can bring juice. You can't have a bunch of Mike Danas or Ashton Gelatis early in his career. Yes, they tried with Felix. Charles Amenahu brought some before he got hurt. Again, the process generally was okay. Some of their results didn't pan out, but they've given themselves too thin of margins. So if I had to pick one trait to go after, it's something like juice, punch, edge, something like that, athleticism, and you get that at running back, and then I think you get it at either interior defensive line next to Chris Jones, or you find a impactful defensive end.
I like it. I'm with you all the way. Jordan, appreciate you taking the time tonight, my man. Insightful as always. Hopefully we get a chance to talk here coming up soon about a Chiefs team that is still in the mix for a playoff hunt, but we'll wait and see.
Yep, sounds good. Thanks a lot, buddy.
No problem at all. That is Jordan Foote. He is a Chiefs correspondent for Heavy on Sports. He also does a little bit of work for Prize Picks. That's been a fun one to talk about now that, for me, as a Missouri resident, now that sports betting is officially live in the state in which I reside, I no longer have to, use these platforms that talk about, they avoid words like over, under. They don't use the spread. They use all these different words to try to bypass the rules or have to go over to the Kansas side necessarily. The only time I could use DraftKings or things like that before, I had to be here at work. That's like my location had to show Kansas. So it's interesting. I am excited that it's now finally here and ready and available for everybody to use, regardless of where you are along the state line here in the metro. After Hours here on 96.5 The Fan, 913-586-7965. Logan Weber, Jackson Ogden coming back to wrap up the hour next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
The world's largest sportsbook at your fingertips has arrived in Missouri. Circus Sports is sports betting the way it should be. With high app limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service, Circus Sports is better for the better. From football to basketball, college sports to pro, start betting like the pros in Missouri. Built for sports bettors by sports bettors. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. Must be 21 or older. For problem gambling, call the Problem Gamblers Helpline at 1-800-522-4700.
Hey, Kansas City, this is Jeff Briggs with Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, home of the Victory Effect. Our pledge to drive down vehicle pricing for the city we love. The Black Friday sales event is on all month long, and the manufacturer posted incredible incentives to drive year-end sales. Business owners, listen up. Right now, and only at Victory, you can purchase a brand new 2025 Ram 2500 heavy duty for only $39,988. Folks, when is the last time you've seen a brand new heavy duty truck under $40,000? And guess what? This truck is nicely equipped. 4-wheel drive crew cab with full power, 8-inch touchscreen radio, upgraded work grade interior, and much more. And to sweeten the deal, on any new truck purchase now until the end of November, Victory is throwing in a free set of cab length running boards or a spray-in bed liner. You choose. There is no shortage of supply. We stock more heavy duty trucks than any other dealer in Kansas City. Just stop by, pick one out, and let's do business. Visit us at Kansas City's only automotive outlet mall, the Legends Auto Plaza, on the southeast corner of 435 and Parallel, just east of Nebraska Furniture Mart, or online at victorymotorskc.com, where our first price is better than their last.
And Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means playing in a football game. Boom! 42! You're going down, Doug! Oh, yeah? Your price on car insurance when you customize and save is going down. Hey! Limu? What are you doing on their team? Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. FanDuel is the #1 sportsbook for same-game parlays. From points and rebounds to threes and assists, FanDuel's the best place to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay or track every stat live, all in one easy-to-use app. And right now is the perfect time to join because new customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So bet on the players you love the way you want. Head to FanDuel.com/Alex to sign up today. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets will expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right. Y'all gotta try that for Bree's car. Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency, all over Bree's car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah, breathe happy for Breeze. La 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 la. Oh oh oh. O'Reilly.
Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
Oh, 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 O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 Enrichment Grant is providing one local high school $20,000 to use on upgrades and equipment. Open to all area schools and no strings attached. Take a minute to tell us what your high school needs at helpmymokenschool.com, and we'll announce the winner January 4th on the Chiefs Radio Network.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Coming up week 14 in pro football, absolutely awesome game to kick it off on Thursday night as 7-5 Detroit, a 3-point home favorite against surging 6-5-1 Dallas. The total is 53.5. And I understand why Detroit's the favorite in the game. Detroit's playing at home. I think Dallas is just a better team right now. Detroit's best receiver is not going to play in this game, and I think Dallas's quarterback playing at an MVP level. I think Dallas is going to win this game. So if you're going to give me 3 points, I'll take it. So let's take Dallas +3 Thursday night in Detroit. That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app today, and please gamble responsibly.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Looking for the ultimate spot to watch Sunday football? It's all happening at Brew Brothers inside Harris Casino, Kansas City. With NFL Sunday Ticket, you'll catch every game, every Sunday. So no matter who you root for, your team is always on. Add in ice-cold drinks, mouth-watering food, and a crowd that loves football just like you. And you've got the perfect game day atmosphere. Every snap, every score, every Sunday. Brew Brothers is football headquarters. Be there this weekend at Harris's Kansas City. 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
With the first pick in the McDonald's breakfast draft, I'm going with a tasty sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle sandwich. Bold move, sweet, savory, totally stacked. But wait, that delicious sausage McMuffin with egg sandwich is still on the board. Lucky for me, McD lets you mix and match two for just $5. And right now, any size iced coffee is only $1.89. Breakfast at McDonald's. That's the real winning deal. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Men, if the long lines to the bathroom have been holding you back from attending sporting events and you're waking up in the middle of the night dealing with frequent urination, it could be an enlarged prostate. Jeff Montgomery here to talk about the minimally invasive procedure I had that made a big difference. I went to Dr. Brown at Miva Medical, the leader in minimally invasive treatments in Kansas City. The procedure was quick and easy, and I'm very happy with the result. Don't put up with being uncomfortable. Contact Miva Medical. That's MIVA-medical.com.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What's up, football fans? Picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. Try a first touchdown scorer wager with confidence today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. This specific promotional offer is not available in Mississippi, Pennsylvania, Puerto Rico, or Ontario. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 in New York. In Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-APP. In Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 in Puerto Rico. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch all your favorite shows. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC-FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
We got a couple of big-time college basketball matchups for teams with big fan bases here in the Kansas City metro area tonight. KU with a huge top 25 showdown with UConn. Game tips off at 8 o'clock tonight at Allen Fieldhouse. So that's a good sign, that's good news for the Jayhawks, the fact that the game's going to be at home. You're going to have the raucous fan base there at Fog Allen. Bad news, no Darren Peterson still. Still dealing with that nagging hamstring injury, and I'm hearing all about it from Kansas fans that are upset. We paid this kid X amount of dollars, and he's not playing, and this and that and the other thing. Injuries happen, folks. Good God. Oh, he's making this much in NIL. It's like, guys, people, I believe, and from things I've heard from people in and around near that program, he would be on the floor if he could. He's dealing with a hamstring injury. There's a risk that it could get worse if he tries to play on it, if he tries to push his luck, and it could kill his season. And so I'll say what I've been saying, which is, would you rather have Darren Peterson at 70% or 80% tonight with the risk of ending his season against UConn? Or would you rather wait 2 weeks and have him for your full slate of Big 12 games? which are going to be the more important games on your schedule for the rest of the season. I think we should all collectively agree, play him in the Big 12 games when he's fully healthy, when he's at his best. Because what this has done, whether you agree or disagree with it if you're a Kansas fan, obviously you'd rather have Darren Peterson on the floor if you're Kansas. There's no question about that. But what this stretch of games, I think, has allowed for, it has allowed for Flory Badunga to become a little bit more confident and assertive in himself and declare, I am the number 2 guy. I am a potential, breakout contender, which I said coming into the year that Flory Badunga could have a Joel Embiid-like breakout. I'm not saying he's going to turn around and become a top 5 pick the way that Embiid was. That's not at all what I'm saying. And he's a very different player than Joel Embiid, right? He's not quite as big. He's a little bit more athletic. He's extremely long, but he's a great rim protector as long as he stays out of foul trouble. He, for the most part, outside of that game, was that the Tennessee game potentially? He did not have a great shooting game, but he's been a very efficient scorer throughout the year for them. But I think even more so what it is allowed for is for other guys to find themselves on this basketball team. It's allowed for Trey White to become much more of a factor for this KU basketball team. A guy who, despite only being 6'7", as a forward, forward feels like a strong way to put it. I would say he's a bigger guard, but very willing and capable rebounder. Guy who, since Peterson's gone out, has had to shoulder a lot more of the load, both in terms of his scoring, where he's been very efficient, as well as his ability on the glass. I think that that's been huge because with Trey White and Badunga, when Peterson comes back, you have a legitimate top 3 that you can look at. And then it's a question of, can the other guys be complementary pieces? Bryson Tiller's got to find the jump shot. He's got to find it because right now it has seemingly left him completely. I mean, that game against Kentucky or against Tennessee, he only took 4 shots, but he took 2 threes, and I had no confidence either one of them was going in.
I don't think he did either.
No, it doesn't feel that way right now.
You can tell when a guy's not confident in his shot, and right now that's the case with him. Look, I think if you're a Kansas fan, the Peterson thing is frustrating right now, but you almost have to look at this, not that these games don't count, but it is a bit of a preseason, right? Big 12 play, like you said, is what will end up mattering. If he's there on the floor for Big 12 play, that's what people care about. That's what's going to get you a 1 or 2 seed. Not these games right now. And look, it would be a big deal to beat UConn, but it's not going to kill you if you lose to UConn.
Right.
Like, you're still going to make the tournament. This isn't like you're going to lose to some D2 school. You're losing to UConn, who's won 2 of the last 3 national championships.
Right. You lose tonight, you're 6-3. And those 3 losses,
North Carolina, Duke, and UConn.
Duke and UConn.
Yeah.
And you lost that game against North Carolina on the road.
Yeah. So, I mean, and if you lose against UConn, you can go back to saying, hey, we didn't have our best player on the floor.
Yeah.
That's just the reality of the situation.
And you didn't have your best player on the floor when you lost to Duke.
Right. So,
and you only lost that game by 12. A game where I was impressed by Flory Badunga and what he did against Cam Boozer in that game. A guy who is competing with Darren Peterson to be the number 1 overall pick in the draft. So
it's just a long season.
It is.
It's just
absolutely.
a very long season that there's ebbs and flows to it. And if you're Kansas, you're used to making these deep tournament runs. You should understand giving him a couple games off now, even if they're marquee matchups, is worth it in the long run if he still has legs when it comes to late March.
Not the time to hit the panic button if you're KU.
Absolutely not.
Meanwhile, Mizzou has the ACC-SEC Challenge tonight. They're matched up against Notre Dame. Tigers are 8-0. Their best win of the year is against Minnesota.
Yeah.
Other than that, they haven't really played anybody. Notre Dame is off to a sluggish start. They're 5-3 this year. They have beaten all the teams they're supposed to beat, but they fell on the road at Ohio State. They lost at home to Kansas.
Well, that was the tournament.
That was
right?
the tournament thing. So it was technically a home game for Kansas,
neutral
but
site.
Neutral site.
Yeah.
And then also lost to Houston in that same tournament on a neutral site. They lost to the Cougars by only 10 points.
And they gave KU a game.
They did, absolutely, yeah. Kansas only beat them by 10. So this Notre Dame team is interesting. They go as Marcus Burton goes, plain and simple. Notre Dame, if you're Mizzou tonight, control him, and you do a pretty good job of controlling Notre Dame as a team. I mean, he is one of only 2 guys on the entire roster that is averaging double figures.
I mean, you mentioned it, Logan, just going back to Mizzou, how they haven't played anybody. This month, we're going to get a much better feel for who they are. They play Notre Dame tonight, they play Kansas on Sunday, and then at the very end of the month, they play a good Illinois team. So they're going to have 3 really good non-conference opponents before they head into SEC play. And then, of course, once you're in SEC play, you'll really figure out what you have. But that soft November schedule is over. Mizzou's got some real competition on the schedule now.
No question about it. And you're going to have to shore things up on the defensive side of the basketball, because this Mizzou team is what it has always been under Dennis Gates.
Yes.
They can score with anybody.
Oh, yeah. They're
right? I mean, they got 5 guys that average double figures.
Yeah.
And the guy that is in 6th in Sean Phillips Jr., he averages 9.7. So he's damn near averaging. So you nearly have 6 guys in double figures. You can get scoring from almost anywhere.
Scoring's never been the problem.
Yeah, Jacob Cruz and Stone, Robinson, they got elite three-point shooting. They just can't defend.
The problem in the Dennis Gates era, and it looks like it's already going to be a problem again this year, is they don't rebound well at all, and they don't defend. And it killed them last year against Drake. They couldn't rebound. In the first round of that tournament, they got outclassed by a team that was smaller than them. Drake didn't have the height advantage. Didn't matter. Mizzou just has always struggled to rebound under Dennis Gates, and they've always struggled on the defensive end. Like you said, they've had these games, like last year when they beat Alabama. I remember they put up over 100. Tamar Bates went crazy. But they have struggled on the defensive side of the ball, and it's hard to take them as a serious threat if they don't fix that and get that cleaned up.
I mean, you gave up 84 points to SEMO.
Yeah.
That's rough. The 2 biggest glaring issues I see for the Mizzou basketball team is, can you be a consistent presence on the defensive side of the basketball? And when you have the ball on offense, can you limit the turnovers? Because turnovers have been, I wouldn't say they've been as big of an issue this year as they were a season ago, but the problem still exists a little bit. You've seen it come out in spurts. That SEMO game was one of them, where they gave SEMO a bunch of added opportunities because they just couldn't take good enough care of the basketball.
And it's what's killed them in the tournament under Dennis Gates, too. It killed them against Drake. It killed them against Princeton. It's what has lost them games is they're a good shooting team. The problem is they lose a lot of their possessions on turnovers, whether it be just losing the ball or having an offensive foul. They've really struggled with it, and so it's going to be interesting this month, especially tonight. I mean, starting tonight with Notre Dame, how they play, how they can match up against some real competition. Because let's be honest, they basically played a Division II schedule to start the year. They played nobody.
It wasn't strong, and you need. I mean, they're going to get some tune-ups here towards the end. I mean, starting obviously tonight, and then a little bit. Even more so on Sunday, and then that last one, like you mentioned, against Illinois before they walk into the gauntlet that is the SEC, which has become a much stronger basketball conference in the last couple of years than it was previously. Florida is the defending national champion. Kentucky still looks really good. Cal's over at Arkansas now. They're rocking and rolling. Auburn and Tennessee continue to be solid. Alabama's a really good program now as well with Musselman. Vanderbilt is a top 25 team in America. When did Vanderbilt get good at everything?
All of a sudden, Vanderbilt's great at athletics out of nowhere.
Can we send the investigators to Nashville? Because something weird's is that all the country music singers are just throwing money at the Commodores? What's happening?
They were
right
always
now?
good at baseball, but that was it. Now all of a sudden they're good at football and basketball. I don't know what's happening.
Something strange is going on, to say the least. But you talked a little bit about Drake tonight. I'm watching Iowa right now against Michigan State, and it's not going well.
Not going well?
No, Spartans are up 16.
Spartans are pretty good.
Yeah, Michigan State's pretty solid. And this is like first Big Ten game of Ben McCollum's tenure at Iowa.
Yeah.
And you have to go on the road
to
the Breslin Center and play Michigan State and Tom Izzo.
It always feels a little weird when there's a conference game this early in the season. with college basketball, right?
Yeah,
like,
the Big Ten has this
I'm
weird.
so used to the SEC model of it, where, and I think this is the Big 12 model too, where it's just once January hits, that's when it starts.
Yeah, the Big Ten does this really weird thing where like they play non-conference games through November, and then early December you'll play 2 Big Ten games, and then you play out the rest of your non-conference schedule, and then it as the new year kicks off. Then the Big Ten slate. So like Iowa plays Michigan State on the road tonight, and then they play Maryland at home on December 6th. And then they follow that up with games on the road at Iowa State, Western Michigan, I believe that's Bucknell, and then somebody else, and then it's UCLA on January 3rd. That's a new one that started 3 or 4 years ago maybe. It's a little weird. It's taken some getting used to for sure.
Which
but
I'm still trying to wrap my head around UCLA being a Big Ten team. You said that, and I was like, that's a non-conference. No, never mind. That's a Big Ten game.
Yep, it is.
It just feels wrong.
It does, yeah. They got UCLA, USC, Oregon, Washington's on the schedule. Yeah,
feels weird.
It's weird.
I don't like it still. I know we're like 2 years into this, and I'm still not used to it.
Somebody in the text line just said Colorado is going to win the Big 12. Watch out for the Buffs.
They're improved. I mean, they were pretty bad last year. They're improved, but
yeah, it's kind of hard to improve. I mean, it's not hard to improve off of the worst team in the Big 12.
I'll take Houston. I'll put my money on Houston again.
Yeah, sorry. We'll
see.
I'm not necessarily buying into that one with Colorado. There are some really. I mean, Iowa State has looked.
Yeah.
Really. Arizona's the number 2 team in America right now.
Yeah, the Big 12 stacked.
BYU has A.J. DiBiase, who he is also battling Darren Peterson and Cam Boozer for the number 1 overall pick in the draft. And lest we forget, KU does still exist. And you've got Texas Tech, who's a top 20 team in the country right now as well.
And if we want to flip to the opposite end of the spectrum, a team that we cover here at 96.5 The Fan, K-State, just took a brutal loss to Bowling Green. Brutal on their own home floor. The Jerome Tang thing since year 1, Logan, really has not gone very well.
You want to talk about a team that can't defend? How about K-State?
That first year he was there, they went to the Elite 8, and ever since, it has not been good.
Yeah, here is the last. So K-State's played 8 games this year. 8.
Right.
They beat UNC Greensboro 93-64.
Okay.
They then beat Bellarmine 98-71.
Okay.
Giving up 71 points to Bellarmine is a bit disconcerting. They then beat Cal 99-96.
That was a heck of a shootout.
Then beat Tulsa 84-83.
That's not great.
Beat Mississippi State 98-77.
It's a pretty good win.
Still gave up. Yeah, it's a great win. Gave up 77 though. Is not great. You know, they're really a live by their offense sort of style. They then gave up 86 in a loss to Nebraska. They gave up 86 in a loss to Indiana and gave up 82 in that loss to Bowling Green.
Not great.
Folks, let's go.
It feels like the Jerome Tang thing is running out of juice. It
Let's
really does.
play a little defense.
It feels like the Jerome Tang, his clock is ticking. Like, if they don't turn this around this year, there's gonna be conversations in Manhattan.
Yeah, and I mean, they score with anybody. Like I said, K-State's got 5 guys in double figures, including P.J. Haggerty, certified bucket. P.J. Haggerty can fill it up from seemingly anywhere on the floor, and he's a great passer. Problem is you can't guard. They shoot 41% from the three-point line on the year, and they're shooting almost 50% from the floor, and you're 5-3 and just lost to Bowling Green. Why? Because you don't defend. Please play defense. That's all I ask. 913-586-7965 is the number. We'll continue to talk college athletics, but let's talk a little college football, because there's somebody out there that I have a grievance that I want to air out. We'll do that next here on After Hours. Logan Weber, Jackson Ogden, 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Save up to $4,500 with Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter, thanks to limited-time tax credits and special incentives on energy-efficient HVAC systems. But don't wait. Those federal tax credits expire after December. Upgrade your heating and cooling system, and you can enjoy lower energy bills and year-round comfort. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. And lock in your savings before time runs out. License number 2025-11121.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? Call Jay's Southland Tow Service, 816-779-4869 or southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments. They can do it all. Be in the know and call Jay's Southland Tow.
What's up, Missouri? Tony Gonzalez here. Your moment is finally here because DraftKings Sportsbook is live in Missouri. You can get in on all the action with fast withdrawals, a safe and secure app, and betting that's easy to use anywhere you go. And the best part, DraftKings keeps the excitement going with awesome promos and offers all season long. That's why it's America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't wait. New customers sign up today. Bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Let's go, Missouri. Get in the game.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 965. New Missouri customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code 965 in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Pain has a way of stealing the moments that matter most, especially during the holidays. It's not just your knees, back, or shoulder. It's time away from your family and friends. But in 2026, all that could change when your body remembers how to heal. It just needs a little help finding the way back. At QC Kinetics, right here in Kansas City, we believe relief doesn't have to come from surgery or pain pills. We use your body's own natural healing abilities to repair and restore what's been lost, helping you move, live, and feel like yourself again. It's your body's comeback story, powered by the very cells that built you in the first place. No surgery, no pain pills, no long recovery. Just your body remembering how to feel alive again. QC Kinetics delivers long-term relief, finally. So schedule your free consultation today and use your HSA or FSA before the year ends. Call 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, it's QC Kinetics.
At Casey's, when someone asked for a cup of coffee that wouldn't put them in debt, but still had freshly ground beans, rich flavor, and a price that starts with a 9 and ends with a D9 cents, we were too nice to say no. Any size darn good coffee, just 99 cents with Casey's Rewards. Limited time only. See store for details.
Did you know that you can watch all your favorite shows right on YouTube? We're live streaming Fesco and Dusty, Cody and Gold, The Drive, and After Hours all day long. So if you want to look at the beautiful Alex Gold, interact with Cody Tapp in the chat, or gaze at the ruggedly handsome Dusty Likens, just go to YouTube and watch them while you pretend to work. Go to our channel, hit subscribe, and stay up to date with 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Oh, Lane Kiffin, you scumbag, you. This whole thing is absolutely absurd. First and foremost, I'm disappointed. Because Lane Kiffin has developed a reputation over the years. And it caused a lot of people to dislike him, including myself. But I have to admit, over the last couple of years, I had started to grow to like Lane Kiffin a little bit. What he was able to do at Ole Miss, bringing that program into the greatest era that it has ever seen, in my opinion. He stayed at one place for quite a while. He was at Ole Miss for 6 years. It felt like he was finally going to stick somewhere. And what does he do? He leaves and takes the friggin' LSU job. In the worst timing imaginable, in the worst way imaginable, the whole Lane Kiffin story is a really, really bad look. It was an absolute mess. The alleged back and forth flights, whether it was he or representatives of his or representatives of LSU, and going back and forth, and doing all these things. And to accept the deal after your team just won their biggest rivalry game of the year, winning the Egg Bowl against Mississippi State, you're 11-1. You've punched your ticket to the college football playoff. You have a legitimate national title contending roster at your disposal. Actually, I'm going to leave and take the LSU job. I just wanted to let you guys know that now. Is it okay if I still coach the team, though? Yeah. Hell no. Go. Take your stuff, clean out your office. You can go now. How about that? No, we're not going to let you stick around and coach this team just so you can bail on us.
It's absurd. And I think that the one thing that has to be brought up before we get into dogging on Lane Kiffin, this is college football's fault. There's no calendar. There's no structure. Nope. In the NFL, there's a structure to where, okay, you can't interview this guy until the season ends, and even then, the team has to give you permission to interview that guy. In college football, it's just open market, go get who you want whenever you want, talk to whoever you want whenever you want. It could be the middle of the season, a guy just leaves. You're in a playoff team, guy just leaves. Doesn't even matter. So before we dog on Lane Kiffin, college football's got to get that fixed. They've got to put some structure down because this shouldn't be happening. It's unfair to the kids on that Ole Miss team that have fought all year to get a college football playoff spot. It's unfair even to Lane Kiffin a little bit because if he wanted to take this LSU job, he didn't have the luxury to wait until any longer, right? Like they were going to hire somebody. He had to take it now or he wasn't getting it. So the whole structure has to change within it. Now we can get into dogging on Lane Kiffin. What a just backstabbing Kevin Durant-esque move, a snake move to do that to your team right when they're on the cusp. You've been building this for 6 years now. You finally have a playoff team. You finally have done this there. You've turned them into a contender. And what do? Just up and leave now? Give up on them? Just say, I'm sorry, I'm going to LSU. My bad. Oh, and by the way, any coach that doesn't get on this flight with me right now, you're not getting a job at LSU. What kind of guy does that? But this is what he's notorious for, Logan. People oftentimes don't change. This is the Lane Kiffin we've always known. The second he got a better opportunity, he jolted.
Yeah, and the reports are that he thought he was going to be coaching the team in the college football playoff, and then like 30 minutes before a scheduled team meeting found out he wasn't, and then just like left. Didn't have a conversation with his players about it. Nope, just says I'm out. It's like, okay, and I'm going to take the entire offensive coaching staff with me.
But again, this goes back to the structure of college football where imagine last year, Logan, if it was December and the Detroit Lions were fighting for the 1 seed in the NFC and they were a contender, and the Bears came to Ben Johnson and said, you have to leave now and take this job or you don't get it. What kind of structure is that? And what kind of league is it where they can allow that? To where they're just like, you know what, this team is a Super Bowl contender. Sorry, coach is leaving right now.
And I mean,
it's insane.
Yeah, it is. And frankly, like, if the argument is, oh, it's for like recruitment's sake, well, signing day's tomorrow.
Yeah, which is another problem.
So it's not like he's going to be able to wrangle in 15 recruits in the next, 12 hours before signing day. So I don't know. And he's trying to save face, right, by allowing Charlie Weiss Jr., the offensive coordinator at Ole Miss, to rejoin the team and coach the offense through the playoffs and then go to LSU, when that was never reported on until today, right? This news was brought, was that Friday or Saturday that they announced that Kiffin was taking the Ole Miss job?
But it was done before that.
It was absolutely done before that.
I have no doubt in my mind going into the Egg Bowl, Kiffin knew. Like going into that game, Lane Kiffin already knew that he was going to LSU. What he didn't know and what nobody really knew is how would Ole Miss handle the situation? Would they allow him to coach the rest of this year, or were they going to put their foot down and say, no, if you're leaving us, you're gone. No more. And that's what they did. And I honestly think they made the right decision. But I think the NCAA and college football just has to look at this in general and say, it's kind of insane we're doing signing day the first week of December when a lot of these coaches get fired, like right now. How are they supposed to, I feel like it's too early, because then you have to turn around. Then you have the other signing day that comes in February, spring practice. I feel like everything's just off. In my opinion, they should get rid of spring practice, make it a couple months later, make it summer practice, make it like a training camp like they have in the NFL. Instead of doing the spring stuff, just have them come in the summer and do it. I feel like that could fix a lot of this structure and it could move the timeline forward. Because right now, Logan, it's just a complete mess.
It is.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know the portal dates. I don't know what coaches can and can't do. Nobody does. It's just chaotic.
And here's and then there's this crazy language embedded in Lane Kiffin's contract that he gets a bonus from LSU for how well Ole Miss does in the college football playoff.
What on earth?
See, I thought that the governor of Louisiana embedded himself into this conversation about who the head coach was going to be because he was tired of watching the gluttony of college football and he was trying to rein it in and do all these different things. Well, what did you do? You made him the second highest paid coach in college football, and you're paying him for how the team he was coaching for is going to perform in a tournament, in a playoff that you yourself are not involved in.
Now, do you think that was in the contract before they knew he wasn't going to coach? Do you think that they thought he was going to be coaching at Ole Miss when they put that in the contract?
I would imagine they had
to have,
right? Because
why would you pay a guy
this
decision
had to have been handed down longer than just last Friday or Saturday.
I agree.
And he says, Lane Kiffin says, which at this point, as much as I liked him and loved what he was doing at Ole Miss, I'm back off the Lane Kiffin train and refuse to believe anything that comes out of that guy's mouth immediately without having multiple sources on that information. He says that he wasn't informed that he wouldn't be coaching the team until 30 minutes before this team meeting where he was going to announce that he was taking the LSU job.
It's bizarre to me that he just assumed he would be able to continue to coach.
Yeah.
On what planet do you live on? That was never going to happen. You left an SEC team for another SEC team,
right?
A direct rival, and you're like, well, I'm still going to get to finish the season, right? No, you made this decision. You're out, buddy. Sorry, it's over. And if Ole Miss doesn't win it all, you can't blame them. They got put in an impossible situation. You say, why didn't they just let Lane coach? Let him sit in there and keep poaching those players to go to LSU?
Yeah, which he's probably going to do anyway.
But why let him stick around? It's just...
Yeah.
It makes no sense. Anybody saying that Lane Kiffin should have been able to finish this off, I could not disagree more with you.
Yeah,
this was 100% the right decision by Ole Miss to get rid of him.
Tulane letting Summerall finish at I get it.
Makes sense.
North Texas letting Eric Morris finish, I get it.
Makes sense. They're not going to competitors.
They're not going to other programs inside the American.
Right.
James Madison, if they let their coach go, nobody's going to be beating down his door for a Sun Belt job.
No.
These guys are leaving for bigger and better jobs in bigger and better conferences. Mm-hmm. Obvious changes. Eric Morris going from North Texas to Oklahoma State. Who's arguing that? Summerall going from Tulane to, is he taking the Arkansas job?
No, he took the Florida job.
Florida job. That's right. Okay. Understandable. This is
not great.
It's maybe a step up. Right? I don't want to go. I'm not going to go so far as to say it's a lateral move.
Let's put it into real world terms. It's like trying to date two girls at once. That's basically what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
He was basically like, I really like you, and I want to keep dating you up until the end of the year, but then I'm going to go date this girl.
Hey, strung Ole Miss along, like the girl that you date before you find the girl you marry kind of thing.
He's basically saying, like, I like you, but if this next girl likes me, you're gone.
Yeah.
That's basically what he did to him. And
Lane Kiffin is the college football equivalent of a pick-me.
They basically said, Ole Miss was like, we're not going to be your side chick. We're done. This is over.
Absolutely. No. Out the door. And I want to preface, he allowed Charlie Weiss Jr. to come back. He's the only offensive coach returning. The other 5 assistant coaches are still at LSU with him. So I guess Joe Judge, their quarterback's coach.
Oh, God, not Joe Judge.
That's it. He pretty much just allowed. He took everybody with him. Weiss, yeah. Co-offensive coordinator Joe Cox and 5 other Ole Miss assistants joined him at LSU, but Weiss is the only one returning to Ole Miss.
One thing I was a little surprised about during this, Logan, is that they gave Pete Golding, the defensive coordinator, not the interim job. They made him the head coach going forward. I was a little surprised by that. I thought they would give him that interim tag, see how this playoff thing goes, and then look at the market and see if they can find. I'm surprised they just said, you know what, you get to be the head coach.
Yeah,
that shocked me a little bit.
That tells me that they feel really strongly about him. He is like Lane Kiffin. Golding is a Nick Saban disciple, right? I would argue maybe even more so of a Nick Saban disciple because he's a defensive guy. Saban, that's where his bread is buttered for sure. He was the DC for Nick Saban at Alabama, part of a national championship team in 2020. So there's certainly something to be made for that. LSU's Ole Miss's defense has gotten better every year that he's been there with the Rebels. So rather than trying to get through this calumny that is the college football coaching carousel, we like this guy. Let's take this guy. You contain some continuity, right? Especially on that side of the football, where those defensive guys are a lot less likely now to follow Lane Kiffin over to LSU, perchance, because, hey, our guy, Golding's staying here, so I'm just going to stay here with my guy. Now, the offense, that is what it is, right? The head coach is going, the OC's going, the co-offensive coordinator's going, the wide receivers, right? The whole offensive staff is going with him. Not much you can do there. But at least the defense can be a little bit more solidified moving forward. And for somebody like Pete Golding, who has had opportunities to work under Nick Saban and Lane Kiffin, who are listen, obviously, this whole situation has made me dislike Lane Kiffin all over again. But Lane Kiffin, for all his bluster, to his credit, is a tremendous recruiter. Always has been. Nick Saban, maybe the greatest ever. Being able to work under those two guys, to get through the recruiting trail with guys like that and absorb all that information, I can't say I blame Ole Miss for trying to, hey, here's our guy, let's roll. Let's keep some continuity here. Let's keep a little bit of the culture that has been created here over the last 3 or 4 years and see if we can do something with it.
Yeah, and it's been really hard for Penn State to find a guy. So they might look at that situation and be like, yeah, we'll just stick with this.
Yeah, they are. Penn State is swinging and missing at everything right now. We'll discuss. Well, let's discuss that next. What are some of the other jobs and things that are going on in college football? Because it's a whirlwind at the moment. 913-586-7965. Logan Weber alongside Jackson Ogden. This is After Hours on your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5 The Fan.
Man, if your stream isn't as strong as it used to be, or you're taking more breaks to the bathroom than the last 2 minutes of a televised football game,
there's another timeout. We'll be back after this.
It's time to get checked. An enlarged prostate, or BPH, could be the cause. And Kansas City Urology Care is here to help. Fast answers, trusted care. Don't wait. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Governor David Wassinger. As Christmas approaches, I want to encourage you to support Missouri businesses this holiday season. When you're out shopping for the perfect gift, please stop by a local store and choose something made right here in the Show Me State. Missouri businesses are the backbone of our communities, and supporting them is a priority for me. To find Missouri-made goods and retailers near you, please visit buymissouri.net. Merry Christmas, and please remember to buy Missouri.
Paid for by the Office of Lieutenant Governor David Wassinger.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Presenting a Gain Flings love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Ultra, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Ultra helps Mike fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs, so he can wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hey, nice job, Pete. I like those clean lines. Fellas, do we have anyone that can get to Greenport today?
At Corey's Landscaping, the staffing plan is in the weeds.
Anthony, we need that leaf blower over here. 3 more new customer requests just came in. Who wants to work some overtime?
He needs to dig up quality landscapers and fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
96.5 The Fan and the Kansas Lottery are giving you a shot at fourth quarter fortune with the chance to score a game day tailgate bundle and a $100 holiday instant ticket. Go to 965thefan.com for your chance to win. Must be 18 or older to enter.
You know, this is a good bit of music to play for this. That sort of synth noise has a Stranger Things feel to it. I don't know if you watch Stranger Things, Jackson, but season 5, chapter 1 just dropped. I just finished watching it. And frankly, the world of Stranger Things feels reminiscent of the world of college football right now. We are living in the upside down a little bit. Indiana is the number 2 team in America. They just finished off an undefeated regular season. They're going to be battling it out with Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game, which will determine who the number 1 overall seed will be in the college football playoff this year. That's weird enough as it is.
Wild times.
On top of that, this has been a topsy-turvy whirlwind of a story for months now. But a little bit ago, maybe about an hour ago, it appears that we're finally getting confirmation that Jared Curtis, 5-star quarterback, Georgia commit, has been committed to Georgia for the better part of a year and a half, like since March of 2024, is decommitting from Georgia and signing with Vanderbilt tomorrow. Vanderbilt is getting a 5-star quarterback, the number 1 ranked pocket passer, according to ESPN, is going to Vanderbilt. Now, why, you ask? Well, a couple of reasons. First, he's from Nashville. Okay, plays high school football in Nashville, closer to home, makes a lot of sense there, right? There's also been a huge selling point on him becoming the day 1 starter next year.
Oh, yeah,
with Diego Pavia leaving.
With him leaving, sure.
More likely than not, although Pavia is engaged in that lawsuit right now trying to change the eligibility requirements with the JUCO.
Pavia's going to try and get his 15th year.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, it's weird, man. And, if there was any more evidence that you needed that we're living in the upside down of college football, how about the fact that Penn State, who fired James Franklin on October 12th, almost 2 months ago, is still without a head coach. Meanwhile, seemingly every other job in the country is filled.
Yeah.
Auburn got a guy. Arkansas found a guy. Florida found a guy. LSU got a guy. UCLA hired a guy. North Texas has already filled their job. Eric Morris just left, and they've already hired his replacement.
Even Stanford got a guy.
Yes. And it's just a bizarre situation. And I got this article here from Newsweek that's talking about how this whole thing has played itself out with Penn State. First and foremost, here's my thinking on it. And you and I talked about this a little bit in the bullpen. With programs like Auburn and Arkansas and Florida and LSU, there were already conversations being had about those guys. Though that last offseason, these athletic directors and presidents and boards, they were having these conversations about like, hey, if we have to fire so-and-so, who's a suitable replacement? They had lists of guys already ready to go.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that was happening at Penn State.
I doubt it.
They were the preseason number 2 ranked team in the country. I don't think they had a thought in the world that they were going to be firing James Franklin. So when everything came crashing down on top of them, when you lose to UCLA and you lose to Northwestern and you go from the number 2 team in America to not bowl eligible, things got bad in a hurry.
It did.
And so they had to make a decision. They pulled the trigger. They fired him. Well, now what do we do? And I think that is what has led to things really, really not panning out for them. This article states that they have interviewed and been linked to several candidates, but they could never get the deal done. Apparently, at one point, they were strongly considering Bob Chesney, who's the head coach at JMU, James Madison. But UCLA hired him. So that was a swing and a miss. Reports are that at one point, Kalen DeBoer was in the running. Okay, that tells me everything I need to know.
They don't know what they're doing.
Why are you...
They have no idea what they're doing.
I don't care if that man walks into the AD's office and says, I want the Penn State job. Don't consider it. He's at Alabama.
Yeah, he's not going.
He's going to leave the pinnacle of college football to go to Penn State. Really?
Yeah, not happening.
Okay.
I think they assumed just because they are Penn State, they'll get a great guy.
Because their football program was one guy?
Because Penn State has this good track record that they would get a top candidate. And they've swung and missed all over. I guarantee you, if you could go back in time to October 12th, they don't fire James Franklin.
I mean, their track record is one dude. Their track record is Joe Paterno, and that's it.
Well, they did get to the Final Four last year with
that's
James
true.
Franklin.
But then you fired him.
Yeah, after a 3-game losing streak, he was done. One of those losses being Oregon.
Yeah, reports are, of course, what we've all been hearing yesterday and today was Kalani Sitake, the coach at BYU. They were strongly considering him, but apparently he had a last-second change of heart.
That Crumble Cookies money came in.
Which also coincides with him getting a massive extension and pay raise at BYU. So he's going to stay with the Cougars in the Big 12. And then there's a report that came out from a Football Scoop, apparently, that Penn State actually interviewed Will Stein for the job. And they said, we don't think he's ready. Well, obviously you're not going to get Will Stein now because, first of all, you said he wasn't ready, and second of all, he's now the head coach of Kentucky.
Yeah.
So now what? It sounds like the two favorites now are Terry Smith, who is just their interim head coach right now.
Oh, God.
He is among the two favorites that are being thrown around. Terry Smith.
Why not Brian Hartline, wide receiver coach at Ohio State? Why not him?
Because I mean, frankly, let's be honest here a little bit. Because with guys like Brian Hartline, the loyalty and the hatred still exists.
That's true.
Like Brian Hartline not only coaches at Ohio State, he played at Ohio State.
Yeah.
He's an Ohio kid.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I understand, like, hey, you want to come be the head coach at Penn State? We'll give you $12 million a year or whatever. That's
tough to say no.
That's going to perk your ears up. But that guy had a 15-year career in the NFL, and he's been a very, extremely successful wide receiver and offensive coordinator coach at Ohio State. So I don't disagree with you. I think they should absolutely kick the tires on a guy like Brian Hartline. I'm just not sure he wants to.
Let me throw a name at you. Chip Kelly. Raiders just fired him as OC. As bad as he's been in the NFL, he is a winner in college.
I mean,
he is a winner in college.
He was at Oregon.
Even at UCLA, he had winning seasons.
He did, but it was never like it was at Oregon.
He's always been a little shady, right? Like there's a little of that, but
right.
But now you can pay guys. Like that's what his whole thing was.
It's true, but you never got to a double-digit win season at UCLA. In that Pac-12, you couldn't get to double-digit wins, even though you're Chip Kelly and you reinvented offense in college football. I'm
just saying, Logan, there's not a lot of good options anymore.
I'm with you.
Like, he's one of the best. You're not going to hire Billy Napier after he just flamed out at Florida.
No,
you're not going to hire Sam Pittman.
Do you want to know who the other guy is?
Who is
that they're throwing around as the other favorite to land the job?
Who is it?
Jeff Brom.
Who's done a good job at Louisville.
He has done a good job at Louisville.
He's done a good job. But oof.
The problem there is he's a Louisville guy.
Yeah, I don't think he leaves.
When I say Louisville guy, I'm not just saying he played quarterback for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
This man was born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky.
It's going to get hard. It's going to be hard to get him to leave. You'd have to give him a really good offer.
You have to throw a ton of money. Somebody just said Will Muschamp. Woof.
I mean, we're getting to that point.
That man, we're going to give that man a third head coaching job in college football after the other two were a disaster.
Logan, have we not reached that drastic of a time where they might have to consider something like that?
Yeah, they might.
They may have no choice. The options are starting to thin out.
Yeah, and
do you try and throw everything you can at Kenny Dillingham at Arizona State, try and get him to leave?
Maybe. I don't know. Sounds like Cal is going after Tosh Lapoy, who is the defensive coordinator at Oregon. So if he ends up at Cal, most of the big name coordinators are gone.
Even Oregon State got a good hire. They got the Bama guy.
Here's one for you. Should Penn State go after Joe Brady?
Maybe.
That's a guy who's earned a head coaching job. Whether that's in the NFL or in college football, I don't know. But and something about Joe Brady you may not know. Coached at Penn State. He was a GA there.
I did not know that.
Got his master's from Penn State. So there's a connection there. Now, the problem is he was a GA under James Franklin. 913-586-7965. Yeah, somebody just said, what about the Bills OC? Forgot his name from LSU. That's Joe Brady. Yeah, I just threw around there. Brian Daboll. They can take Leipold if they want.
Get Les Miles back in the mix.
Let's go, baby.
Just get all of these guys back in the mix.
Penn State, I'm telling you, this time around with Bill O'Brien, it'll be different. It'll work out better this time.
Even though he just went 2-10 at Boston College, it'll be different.
It'll be different this time. After hours here on 96.5 The Fan, Logan Weber alongside Jackson Ogden. We'll come back, quickly wrap up hour number 2, get you set for the third hour of our program tonight here on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Lunch hour? Fuel up fast with lunch at the Lodge. Bite into our juicy cheeseburger and fries, fresh chicken Caesar salad, or turkey avocado smash with sweet potato fries. Hearty, quick, and made to satisfy. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Hi, we're the people who have everything.
There's nothing you can get us we don't have.
We have 7 mini vacuums.
And Pearl handled pickleball rackets.
See?
Need a gift for someone who has everything? I mean, the Kansas Lottery has you covered with holiday scratch tickets in
of season
1, 2,
5 just came out,
and $20
and
auctions.
then there's I think 2 episodes coming out on Christmas Day, and then another one like on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day.
Thousands?
We could always use that.
See kslottery.com for details.
That's the sound of James adding long-lasting Gain scent boosters to his laundry this morning. Several hours later, James sniffs the irresistible scent of Gain on his shirt. Gain. Several hours later, James has even caught the attention of his mother-in-law, and she never gives him attention.
Ooh, you smell amazing, James.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I love you too.
I never said that.
Add Gain scent boosters to your laundry. Add joy to your day.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends, near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs, with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
I woke up this morning feeling like I was coming down with something. Cough, congestion, headache. My first thought was, nope, this can't happen. I have big plans this weekend. So I took Mucinex Kickstart. It provides all-in-one and done relief with a morning jolt of instant cooling sensation. Thanks to Mucinex Kickstart, I didn't even need to cancel my weekend plans. If you start feeling cough and congestion coming on, take Mucinex Kickstart for relief with a kick. At your favorite retailer. Use as directed.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
my debit card.
Their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A., member FDIC.
If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be 1,000,000 miles away. Imagine being 1,000,000 miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit Tremfya.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Well, for those of you who are interested in watching Stranger Things and maybe haven't seen it before, you're welcome for the completely unsolicited advice I just gave you during that hot mic moment when we were off air. I was trying to talk to Jackson through the talkback and completely hit the wrong button. So if you heard that, I apologize. If not, that never happened. And we move on, and we let bygones be bygones. But
partially my fault. I was asking him during the break. I haven't really watched Stranger Things. Is it too late for me to start?
No, man, you're good.
He started responding to me, and I couldn't hear him, and that's when I realized, he's talking over air.
I was just, there's a little on-off button here, and then the talk-back button is in the top left corner, and I just decided I'm going to hit the big red on button like a moron. Thank goodness all I was talking about Stranger Things. Things could have got dicey there in a hurt. Would have been bad for me.
Yeah, oof.
Would have been bad. Jackson, hit the dump button, please. Nah, thankfully we were able to avoid that. This top 25 in the college football playoff is fascinating. So Ohio State, Indiana 1, 2, no doubt. Georgia, Texas Tech, Oregon, Ole Miss. So Ole Miss at 6, A&M at 7, Oklahoma 8. Those 3 teams are getting into the college football playoff. I think that's pretty cut and dry. After that, I don't know. Alabama at 9, I feel pretty good that Alabama's going to get in regardless of whether they win or lose, but a loss could hurt them, especially if Georgia just runs over them, And then BYU is like, you lose to Texas Tech, you're probably out of the field, especially if Virginia wins. Notre Dame is just kind of holding on right now. I think they're in no man's land a little bit.
This is where it hurts them not having a conference. Is they can't go get their auto bid, right?
Good.
Like they should be in a conference.
They should.
If you were in one, then those first 2 losses of the year that they had to Texas A&M and Miami, who are good teams, wouldn't matter as much. But since you don't have a conference, now you can't get an auto bid, and now even though you're 10-2, it really doesn't matter that much because is there a world they could put Notre Dame in and not Miami? When Miami beat them head-to-head and they have the same record? I don't think so. That wouldn't be right.
No, it shouldn't. It wouldn't be right. And frankly, I hope that Virginia wins and BYU wins, and all of a sudden Notre Dame is left out of the college football playoff, and they get punished for being what they deem to be so damn special that they don't have to be in a conference. We're an independent. We're the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Really?
I still think
is Newt Rockne still your head coach?
Logan,
Nobody
I'm
cares.
I'm going to argue this. I think Vandy deserves a spot. I think if you put an LSU logo on Vanderbilt's schedule this year, they'd be in. It's the brand that's not getting them in. They lost to Alabama, and then they lost to Texas. That's it.
Yeah,
and they're 10-2.
Notre Dame, their 2 losses are Texas Tech or Texas A&M
and Miami.
It's 2 really good wins. The problem is you don't have any you have one impressive win. You beat USC.
While Vanderbilt beat South Carolina early in the year, while they were ranked, they beat Mizzou while Mizzou was ranked.
Right.
Like they have some decent wins on there. I understand today it doesn't look that good,
but
at the time
great wins.
Those were good wins. So I mean, it's hard to take those away from those guys, and they just dismantled Tennessee.
Yeah.
I mean, they just made that look easy. So
and that was a top 25 team in Tennessee, who is of course not in the top 25 this week. But you know who is? It's the Iowa Hawkeyes.
That's right.
You told me that earlier, Jackson.
Started the program off with that.
Yeah. Number 23 in the country after they embarrassed the Nebraska Cornhuskers again. Thank you very much. Our program director, Steven Spector, is not going to appreciate me making that joke, but I'm going to. Neither is Scott Parks from the ever-famous Dana and Park show. I was producing their show yesterday, Jackson. I wore the brightest yellow Iowa Hawkeye sweatshirt I have in my closet to work yesterday, specifically to irritate both of them because, fun fact for you, Barack Obama's presidency ended in January of 2017.
Correct.
Do you know how many wins the Nebraska Cornhuskers have against Iowa since that date?
Go with 1.
1.
Yep, there we go.
Iowa has won 10 of the last 11 games in this series.
Not even a rivalry at that
point.
point.
No, man. There are 6th graders walking the halls of their schools who know of Nebraska beating Iowa one time in their lives.
Sheesh.
And you have no idea how profoundly happy that makes me in my soul.
They're so pathetic that it's hard to get excited about it. But as a Mizzou fan, just beating Arkansas at the end of every year, it's not it's not even a rivalry anymore.
And the Big Ten agrees with the sentiment that Iowa and Nebraska is no longer a rivalry because they've always played on that Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. That's been the big part of rivalry week was Iowa and Nebraska on Black Friday. It's not going to be anymore.
Yeah, they've now same moved with Mizzou, Arkansas.
Yeah, they've now moved Iowa, Wisconsin to that Black Friday game, and Iowa's going to play Nebraska in like week 9 now because they're tired of Iowa just embarrassing Nebraska every single year. I never get tired of it. After Hours here on 96.5 The Fan. We'll get back into some Chiefs conversation, maybe replay a little bit of the conversation we had with Jordan Foote earlier in the show. Coming up next, Logan Weber alongside Jackson Ogden. 913-586-7965 is our number here on your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City Sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Pain has a way of stealing the moments that matter most, especially during the holidays. It's not just your knees, back, or shoulder. It's time away from your family and friends. But in 2026, all that could change when your body remembers how to heal. It just needs a little help finding the way back. At QC Kinetics, right here in Kansas City, we believe relief doesn't have to come from surgery or pain pills. We use your body's own natural healing abilities to repair and restore what's been lost, helping you move, live, and feel like yourself again. It's your body's comeback story, powered by the very cells that built you in the first place. No surgery, no pain pills, no long recovery. Just your body remembering how to feel alive again. QC Kinetics delivers long-term relief, finally. So schedule your free consultation today and use your HSA or FSA before the year ends. Call 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, it's QC Kinetics.
Hi there, I'm Charlie.
And I'm Carter. Our dad is Rex with Rex Buys KC.
If you're thinking about selling a home in Kansas City and don't know where to start, our dad can help.
Sometimes life throws curveballs, like moving for a new job, dealing with a divorce, or inheriting a house you weren't expecting.
Dad doesn't just make offers, he talks with people to help them understand all of their options. No pressure, and it doesn't cost anything to talk with his team.
He's a local home buyer who really knows Kansas City. If selling to him is the right choice, he'll give you a fair cash offer, and you can close on your timeline even in as little as 7 days.
He buys homes in any condition. No need for repairs, no fees, no surprises.
Just an honest, easy process so you feel good about your decision.
Want to talk to him? Call 816-330-6000 or go to rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
Presenting a Gain Flings love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Ultra, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Ultra helps Mike fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs, so he can wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hi, I'm Lexi, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. If you're planning to propose this holiday, we're ready to make creating your engagement ring a warm, welcoming experience. At Shane Company, we're all about your style, your budget, your dream engagement ring. Explore the widest selection of diamonds and ring settings ready for you to see in person, or visit us at shaneco.com. You'll have your ring in days, not weeks. Our friendly jewelry consultants don't work on commission. There's never any pressure, just perfect proposals. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
When cold weather hits, the last thing you want is a heating system that fails. Call Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter for an $89 heating system tune-up. Keeping your system running at peak efficiency can help prevent costly breakdowns, lower energy bills, and ensure your system is ready when temperatures drop. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews, plus our exceptional service guarantee, are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
Follow us on Instagram for behind-the-scenes content at The Fan 965, KFMC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Week 13 of the NFL season is officially in the books. And it is gut check time across the National Football League now. 5 weeks left in the regular season. Playoff spots still up for grabs. Division races still in full swing. It's going to be a fun last month to 5 weeks left that we've got here across the league. Week 13 gave us a little bit more insight in some situations and opened the door in others. On Thanksgiving Day, we saw the Dallas Cowboys, of course, beat the Chiefs, and things got a lot darker for Chiefs fans. But I have said, and I said this last week, I'm not very confident. I said this a couple weeks ago that I didn't think they were going to make the playoffs. I still don't. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm not confident in this football team anymore, the way that I have been for years and years and years. And Thursday's game was an example of that. You get the pick on the first drive of the game, you go down, you score a touchdown, you've got all the momentum, and you immediately gave up a touchdown drive the other way. Well, you follow that up with another touchdown drive of your own. And then nothing for 2.5 quarters. Nothing in the second quarter, nothing in the third quarter. And then you tried to turn it on, but it was too little too late offensively. And defensively, that front four, yikes. I don't think I heard George Karlaftis' name said once on the entire broadcast. 4 hours of a football game, I'm not sure I heard them say George Karlaftis' name.
Well, Logan, the Cowboys went 9 for 16 on third down in that game. And we're not talking 3rd and 1s or 3rd and 2s. We're talking 3rd and longs. On that first Dallas touchdown drive, right after the Chiefs scored to start the game, they hit a 3rd and 7 to CeeDee Lamb, a 3rd and 10 to CeeDee Lamb, and another 3rd and 10 to CeeDee Lamb for a touchdown. Can't happen. But you know why it happens? There's no pressure on Dak. Nope. And those are two elite receivers in George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb that if you give Dak Prescott time, will get open. It doesn't matter who's guarding them.
And Jalen Watson and Trent McDuffie, they had troublesome days. I mean,
it was a tough day for both of them.
Let's be as brutally honest as we can be. But it doesn't help that even when you're playing tremendous coverage, you have to be back there battling with Pickens and CeeDee Lamb for 5 and 6 and 7 seconds because Dak Prescott's basically doing his damn taxes in the backfield right now. His pocket's that clean. I'm over it. It's been a week. I'm not getting myself down this rabbit hole.
I will say that you're right, though. But the pass rush that outside of Chris Jones, who gets double teamed every snap, who do you trust to win one-on-one?
Nobody.
Not Karlaftis, not Dana, not Aminahue, not anybody, not Gillette.
Karlaftis is the only guy you could even consider potentially winning.
Nobody else
a one-on-one.
Wins. And what does that make Spags do? If we want to get pressure, we have to blitz. We don't have another way to get pressure.
And give the Cowboys a ton of credit. Javonte Williams and the Cowboys running, they did a phenomenal job. Dak did, especially, of pre-snap recognizing where the blitz was coming. I mean, they saw it. And they picked it up with relative ease, it looked like. Even when they sent 6 guys, 7 guys, and dropped 4 into coverage, it still seemed like Dak had plenty of time to throw the football. So we got more questions than answers coming out of that game. Then you had the Packers-Lions game, which was earlier in the day. And God, Detroit is such a weird football team, man.
There's something wrong there.
There is something weird, and I don't know if it's both coordinators leaving that has opened up a hole. The defense has certainly been banged up there in Detroit. You just lost Sam Laporta as well. But my goodness, I have not, for the most part this year, I haven't left a Packers game tremendously impressed with Jordan Love. But they made Jordan Love look extremely impressive in that football game.
He looked pretty darn good on Thursday. Yeah, 4 tutties, no picks?
Yeah, 4 touchdowns, no picks, 18 to 30 passing for 234. Goff did what he could, 20 of 26, 256, 2 touchdowns. Amon-Ra St. Brown left the game with an injury, and it was the Jameson Williams show from there on out. But they lose. Lions are 7-5. Packers are now 8-3-1. And you pair that with a Friday night win for the Chicago Bears over the Philadelphia Eagles. Listen, I said going into the year that I thought that Chicago had a shot to get in as a wild card team, that they were good enough to win 10 or 11 games. They might win the division.
It's been a wild year. They have I believe they still might have a negative point differential, or if they just went over it with that game. Going into that Philly game, they had been outscored this season, and yet they're the 1 seed in the NFC.
Yeah. Not only are they winning the NFC North division, they're the 1 seed in the NFC.
I mean, you have this Sunday, Packers-Bears. When's the last time a Packers-Bears game mattered? Like, Green Bay has been good for 3 decades straight.
Yeah.
And when's the 2010 NFC title game? Is that the last time these two played that it even mattered?
Yeah.
Like, this is the first time that Bears-Packers is the rivalry that it used to be.
Yeah, like those mid 2000s years, where that 05 year where the Bears got all the way to the Super Bowl and got embarrassed by the Colts.
Well, and then again, like the 2010 year where they met in the NFC title game in Chicago and Green Bay beat them. Bears haven't won a playoff game since that day.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a lot of losing seasons for them. Green Bay's had a lot of winning seasons, so that rivalry's kind of fizzled out. But right now, man, that might be the game of the day on Sunday. I mean, that is a big one. And they already flexed, because it's kind of one of those weird ones where they play twice in 3 weeks. They already flexed their next matchup into prime time.
Mm-hmm.
So, not surprising.
Yeah, to answer your question, the Bears do finally have a positive point differential.
What is it now?
313 for to 307 against.
Okay, so they're +6 now.
+6 on the year.
Considering they just won by 9, they were negative going into the Philly game.
Yeah, +6 on the year. Meanwhile, you've got teams like the Lions, who are 7-5. They are 2 games back of the Bears with a point differential of +76. What? The Chiefs at 6-6 are +73.
+73 at 6-6, yeah.
Yeah, Chargers are 8-4 at +25.
What's Denver?
Denver is +66.
Which is good, but it's not even as good as the Chiefs.
Oh, that's like, I know the AFC North is bad. There's not a single team in that division with a positive point differential.
Dude, the Bengals could win that division. At 4-8, they could win it.
They could. I don't think they will, but they could.
If they beat Buffalo this week,
you're giving Drew hope. You're giving Drew hope right now, and I think that's a dangerous thing to give the man.
If the Chiefs were in the AFC North, we'd be feeling great right now.
It's dude, it's weird right now, man.
It's crazy.
Straight up, it is
wild.
Weird. And then Bengals beat the Ravens. Not only they manhandled the Ravens.
Yeah, it wasn't. Well, 5 Baltimore turnovers will do that.
No T. Higgins, no Trey Hendrickson. The Bengals defense is an absolute dumpster fire, and you turn the ball over 5. Lamar, hold on to the football, son.
He hasn't looked right since getting back.
No.
Even though they've won, he didn't look good against the Jets. He didn't look good against the Browns. He looked iffy against the Vikings and J.J. McCarthy. And then finally, they just played their absolute worst performance, F- game, turning the football over 5 times. I mean,
Lamar barely completed half his throws.
It wasn't. He just
no
doesn't
touchdowns,
look right.
A pick, fumbled twice. Derrick Henry had 6 yards of carry, and they just forgot about him.
Well, they turned the ball over 5 times. I mean, that it's hard to run the football when you fall behind.
Give it to that guy instead of giving it to all these dudes fumbling it all the friggin' time. I don't know.
Say Flowers, Lamar.
Isaiah Likely had a fumble in the game.
It was just a disaster night for Baltimore.
Ugly. And then on Sunday, 49ers beat the Browns. Cleveland tried to keep it close. It was like a 10-8 game at halftime, and then eventually the Niners just kind of leaned on them.
Cleveland's special teams had an awful day.
They had a bad day.
Because McCaffrey only had 2.7 yards of carry. They held him in check, but it was not perfect timing, Logan, for the Shador. Wasn't flexing the wrist on Sunday against the Niners.
No, he was not. 150 yards passing, 1 touchdown. Quinshon Judkins had 91 yards rushing in the game, but they only put up 8 points for the entirety of the game. I mean, Brock Purdy and the Niners defense really won San Francisco that football game. They're now sitting at 9-4. Jacksonville throttled Tennessee. No surprise there. The Texans with a huge win over the Colts. That win gave the Jaguars the lead in the AFC South Division over Indianapolis. It puts the Texans now within a game of both of those teams. So we might end up just seeing a war of attrition in the AFC South here over the last 5 weeks, because there are a ton of matchups with the Jacksonville Jaguars, Houston Texans, and Indianapolis Colts all playing one another here over the last 5 weeks, with the winner brutally and bloodily walking away with a division title as they await a playoff berth against God knows who, the Chiefs or the Bills in a wild card game. The last thing you want to see. The Dolphins, hey man, their playoff chances are dead to rights, but give them some credit, right? Just a little bit. They've won 4 of their last 5 games. They handled handled the Buffalo Bills earlier this, in the month of November. They beat the Saints barely. I will add that 21-17. Behind Devon Achane rushing for 134 yards. The Falcons. This was a 3-2 football team. I may add. This was a 3-2 football team going into a road game against the Niners. They are now 4-8. Michael Penix is hurt. Kirk Cousins obviously coming in didn't dramatically change anything. The Jets have been better since the trade deadline than they were before it. Somebody make that make sense. Bucks beat up on the Cardinals. Yeah, what do you expect? Kyler Murray's time in Arizona is so beyond done, it's ridiculous.
Kyler to Minnesota, make it happen.
God, anything's better than J.J. McCarthy at this point. And then the Rams. Man, what's going on? Really? Really, Sean McVay? Really, Matthew Stafford? The Panthers?
Panthers are weird, dude. 1 week they're awful, the next week they're great. It's been a weird year in the NFL.
It's a 7-6. They are a half game back of the Buccaneers.
They control their own destiny because they still face Tampa twice.
Yeah.
So they control their own destiny.
They could win the NFC South.
They could host a postseason game. It's been a wild, wild year.
With a backfield of Bryce Young, Chuba Hubbard, and Rico Dowdle.
Hey, Rico Dowdle's been legit. I would take Rico Dowdle in a heartbeat on Kansas City.
So would I.
He's been great.
Except it seems like at times the Carolina Panthers don't want to put him on their own team.
Yeah, I think a lot of that goes to how much they're paying Chuba. I think that partially goes into that.
And I mean, in fairness, he was much more effective running the ball on Sunday than Rico Dowdle was. But good. And Teteroa McMillan.
He's a stud.
Absolute home run. You nailed that one, folks. Let's see if it can continue, because we've seen a lot of receivers have really good year ones and then kind of dwindle off in year 2. The Minnesota Vikings got an up-close and personal look at why you don't let Sam Darnold walk away. I mean, I'm not saying Sam Darnold was a world beater on Sunday, because he wasn't. He only threw for 128 yards in this football game, but good God. It wasn't Max Brosmer throwing 4 picks because you thought that was a better idea than J.J. McCarthy, the guy you took with a top 10 pick, yes, and then let a quarterback who helped you go 14-3 a year ago just walk.
Somehow in 2025, there is an NFL roster where Carson Wentz is the best quarterback on it. He's easily the best quarterback on that Minnesota Vikings team right now. That is depressing. That is
rough one.
Sad.
That's a tough pill to swallow if you're a Vikings fan.
That is bad.
You went 14-3 last year.
14-3 last year. Yes.
Yeah, and now you might go 4-13.
Oh, brutal.
That's where you're sitting at right now, Vikings fan. You just got shut out
for the first time since 2007.
Yeah.
Woof.
Yeah. And that was the Seahawks' first shutout win in a decade.
Oof. Bad, bad, bad.
Bills throttled the Steelers, despite the fact that Josh Allen did not play well. James Cook has been the best player on that team.
James Cook is the offense there.
Not even close. 32 carries.
He's the bell cow.
32 carries in an NFL game is ridiculous.
They just let him run the rock.
That is ridiculous. Chargers meleeed the Raiders. Oh, surprise, surprise. Yeah. Kamani Vidal.
It's doing good.
Well done. Well done, my guy. You've helped my fantasy team out quite a bit.
Hampton coming back this Monday, though.
Right. Thankfully.
Not thankfully for the Chiefs. But
I have both of them.
Yeah.
So I literally picked up Kamani Vidal because Amarian Hampton went on the IR. Right. I thought he would be back this week, but they decided to wait a little while longer. And then Washington. You had him.
It's every Denver game this year, dude.
You had him.
Denver has won. Listen, they've won 3 by 3 by 3 by 3 and then by 1. Those are their most recent games. That's all they do. They just play these very close, weird games. And boy, they did have it. You're right on that 2-point conversion in overtime. It was open, but Nick Benito got up, made the play. Denver, magical season continues.
10-2 now on the year is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Just wait till they have to play a first-place schedule next year. Just wait.
Yeah, we'll see.
This third-place schedule thing's fun, isn't it? You get to play the Jets instead of the Bills. Wait another year. See, this time next year, let's see where Denver's at.
Yeah, fair point.
Let's see where they're at. I bet it's not 10-2.
At this point, the Chiefs will finish second in the AFC West, and the Bills will finish second in the AFC East, and they'll end up having to play each other in the regular season again.
That's how it goes.
That's how it goes. And then last night game, Monday Night Football.
Snoozer.
Yeah, Jackson Dart. The biggest play of the game was Jackson Dart getting smoked.
He's got to get a brain on him, man. Like, I know he wants to be this tough guy that takes the hits, and he's a football player. I think he came out last night and said, we're not playing soccer, we're playing football. Buddy, you're not going to make it 3 years if you keep taking these hits. You've already had 2 concussions this year. Are you trying to get a third? Like, protect yourself. You don't have to be this crazy Cam Newton, Josh Allen running quarterback. You can protect yourself. You don't have to take these hits.
Hey man, he's become too fast of friends with Cam Scadaboo at this point. Those two guys have no care in the world for the future of their mental health.
No, they're both gonna be failing it post retirement.
Yeah, no question about it. Both of those dudes are going to have some serious issues if they don't figure out a way to get a little bit more.
They need the Guardian caps.
Yeah, let's get a little bit more cognizant of your body.
They need those Guardian. They need to wear the Guardian caps.
Like, I get it. You're 21, 22 years old, and your body is equipped to take those hits and things of that nature, but you keep doing that, and that becomes a part of your mantra. By the time you get to 28, 29, 30, that could become extremely problematic for you.
Cam Newton got old really fast.
Yeah.
Like, it was really fast how old he fell off.
Yeah.
Those hits add up.
Yeah. And you know, I'm not saying that that's what's happening. I'm not. But hey, Josh Allen hasn't looked like the same guy this year. Is a little bit of that what's happening to Josh Allen? A wee bit? I'm not saying it's taken full effect by any means, but that's another guy who's taken a ton of hits in his career.
I think it's fair to say Josh Allen's prime will end sooner than other guys because of the hits, and he just became the all-time leader in quarterback rushing touchdowns on Sunday. That's because he gets hit a lot. I mean, he's taken a beating. Absolute beating. And he's 28 right now. By the time he's 32, I mean, what are we going to see out of him? What's that going to look like?
Yeah, he'll turn 30 next year.
Okay, so he's 29.
And he's already, just in the regular season of his career, he has carried the ball 837 times, and he's been sacked 207. So that's at minimum 1,000 hits that he's taken over the course of his NFL career already.
That's not counting getting hit just by throwing the ball.
Right.
I mean, that's
pressures,
not even counting
quarterback hits, all those different things and also not counting the postseason stats of his career either. 913-586-7965 is our number. When we come back, we'll hear from Jordan Foote. We had a chance to talk with him earlier in the show. He writes for Heavy on Sports about the Kansas City Chiefs. That's next here on After Hours, 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
When you've thrown over 4,000 innings like I have, you know joint pain isn't a maybe, it's a guarantee. For you, was it climbing ladders or too much heavy lifting? Hey, we're all in the same boat. But surgery, that was never my answer.
Baseball legend Roger Clemens knows there's a better way. That's QC Kinetics regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself. No scalpels, no fake fixes, just real relief.
What I love about QC Kinetics, these are the most respected medical pros in the country that specialize in non-surgical therapies to get you moving again.
Don't mask the pain, fix it. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
I trusted QC Kinetics. You should too.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
BetMGM is now available in Missouri. The wait is over, and BetMGM, of course, I said it, is now available in Missouri. Sports fans in Missouri can sign up for BetMGM and get up to $1,500 paid back in bonus bets if their first bet loses. Enjoy a betting app that was designed for game day with
Features like live bets, same-game parlays, and BetMGM reward points. Plus, be on the lookout for surprise boosts dropping in your account all throughout the season. Sign up now for BetMGM and get up to $1,500 paid back in bonus bets if your first bet loses. BetMGM, it's everything a sportsman could want in one app. BetMGM is now available in Missouri. Sign up today. BetMGM, make it legendary. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New customer offer subject to eligibility requirements and minimum deposit of $10. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a little more.
I'm worth a lot more.
I completely agree. You are worth more, and your car's worth more. And we want to pay more at GiveMeTheVin.com for good cars, because they are worth more, and so are you. And remember, if I don't beat the price on a CarMax or a Carvana deal, I'll pay you $100. For top price, trust, and ease of transaction, GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Hey, it's Joshua Briscoe. Join me live at Harrah's, Kansas City this Saturday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Come out and celebrate the recent Caesars Sportsbook launch in Missouri and meet former Chiefs running back Christian Okoye. Bet the game day action right from your phone. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app now and use promo code RADIOMO. See Caesars.com/promos or the promotions tab on the app for full terms. Must be 21 plus to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Who knew dressing up for a Halloween ball would change my life forever? Now I get to celebrate with the best fans and everything Kansas City. Oh, yeah! My journey also led me to Renner Garage Door, Casey's go-to team for garage door repair, replacement, and service since 1956. Renner features an MVP lineup from Delden, Amar, and Liftmaster.
R-E-N-N-E-R, R-E-N-N-E-R.
The world's largest sportsbook at your fingertips has arrived in Missouri. Circa Sports is sports betting the way it should be. With high app limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service, Circa Sports is better for the better. From football to basketball, college sports to pro, start betting like the pros in Missouri. Built for sports bettors by sports bettors. Download your new bookie today at circasports.com. Must be 21 or older. For problem gambling, call the Problem Gamblers Helpline at 1-800-522-4700.
Did you know we have an Instagram channel? MVP Monday, Chiefs Take Tuesday, best bets, fantasy football advice, and real-time updates during Chiefs games. Get behind-the-scenes content from all the guys on a daily basis. It's exactly why Instagram was created, to look at a bunch of 30-year-old dudes giving sports opinions. Kansas City's FM sports station and your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Earlier in the show, we had a chance to catch up with Jordan Foote. He is a writer for Heavy on Sports. We talked about the Kansas City Chiefs. The loss to the Cowboys, the 6-6 start, where we're sitting at now, and what his level of concern is with the Kansas City Chiefs right now, moving forward, and how the Sunday night game can help impact things for the Chiefs the remainder of the year. We began the conversation asking Jordan just that. What is his concern level with the Chiefs right now?
I think, Logan, first of all, I hope you and Jackson had a great Thanksgiving holiday and
Thank you very much.
Spend some time away from the madness that is the Kansas City Chiefs, even though they played on Thanksgiving anyway. But, man, if I had to rate it 1 through 10, I think I'm at a fairly strong 6.5, if not a decent 7. Like, I'm not hitting the 10. If they lose on Sunday to the Houston Texans, I'm full-blown, this season's cooked. They're a finished product type of thing. But I was on the simulator. I heard you guys chatting earlier about the scenarios they need. I'm kind of thinking if they do lose one game the rest of the way, it's probably best for them that it's like the Denver one where, okay, your division hope isn't really canned at that point. You kind of know what you need at that stage of the season. In my scenario, I went on the ESPN playoff machine and messed around on that. My scenario did have them losing to Denver in week 17 and still somehow making it in. But by far the easiest way is to take care of your own business and not leave it up to chance. The problem is that's all the Kansas City Chiefs have not done this year is take care of business, and they've left everything up to chance. So they're telling us they are not a good team. Now, not good teams can still make the playoffs, but man, they need a heck of a lot of help if they're going to mess around. And I'd say, again, a 6.5, but probably more like a 7 coming into week 14.
Yeah, and looking at the last 5 weeks that the Chiefs have here, you know, you've got 3 games at home where they've been a much better football team. You've got 2 on the road. Those 2 road games are the Titans and the Raiders. So it's not like those are going to be raucous enemy environments that they are walking into. But this game Sunday against Houston is going to either be the beginning or the end, however you want to view it. How does this game shape up, in your opinion, for Kansas City? When you look at the Texans as a roster, the offense is playing better, and I think unbeknownst to a lot of people, the Houston Texans have the number 1 ranked defense in the NFL.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And to kind of go off your first point about how big this game is, Timo Risk, who does a lot of like really good PFF stuff, and I take some of those grades with a grain of salt, but their simulator for the playoffs is pretty decent. If the Chiefs win, they can go from like that 40% range to 60 to make the playoffs. If they lose, they can drop all the way to like 12 to 15. So the importance of this game can't be understated. It essentially is a single elimination divisional round or wild card round type of playoff feel that they're going to have. Being at home certainly helps, but Houston is a very, very, very tough opponent. And we saw on the Thanksgiving game, I think the inverse here. So Dallas had 2 really good wide receivers, George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, that continuously just feasted, made their presence felt. They were open all the time. The Chiefs' wide receivers and really their weapons overall, if you don't count running back, I'd say are fairly solid. Xavier Worthy, even banged up, is fine. Hollywood Brown has been fine. Juju's been fine. Kelsey has looked better. All of that good stuff. Rashee Rice is back. But Derek Stingley Jr., very tough. Lassiter is very tough. They have Bullock at safety, I believe. And that's not even mentioning how stout they are up front. And without Josh Simmons, for all intents and purposes, for the next, I'd say 3-4 weeks, if not the rest of the year, with his wrist injury, Jawan Taylor with the tricep ailment, we'll see if he can get back for that game. We'll get a better idea on Wednesday and Thursday from Andy Reid, but the defense is incredibly tough to stop. And to your point, you can look at, let's say, the offensive success rate or points per drive or whatever efficiency metric you want for that Houston offense. It's a different beast with CJ Stroud back and with a little bit of the run game stuff figured out, and against the Chiefs defense that, for the life of them, can't get off the field on third downs. So all of that to say, my mind is telling me the Chiefs are not going to find a way to win that game, but they're kind of like Michael Myers. I think my gut is telling me otherwise, that whether it's 20-13 or 23-17, something like that, the Chiefs will end up figuring out a way to not save the season, but at least keep it alive for a little bit longer.
I like the Michael Myers thing there. That's sort of what they've been in the NFL since Patrick Mahomes took over. This team that, no matter what position you put them in, you could think that they were dead to rights, and you turn around and, it's that he's right behind me, isn't he, sort of a meme with this Chiefs team where they always seemingly find a way to figure it out when it matters the most. But this year just hasn't necessarily felt that way. Is that what you see too?
No, 1,000%. And I think that a lot of us have come off as haters almost when we've said throughout this run, hey, this isn't going to last forever. Like, they're winning in spite of some stuff. Like, we need to provide some context here. And the natural and valid defense from a lot of people was kiss the Super Bowl rings, kiss the AFC championships. Like, this team is unfallible. Patrick Mahomes is absolutely perfect. And now we're seeing some real flaws in the coaching staff, a couple of weird Mahomes mistakes and performances. The roster construction has been iffy. The defense, Steve Spagnuolo seems almost outmatched at times with the limited personnel that he has. It's all coming to a forefront now for a team that went, 11-0, 12-0 in one-score games a season ago, and now luck isn't on their side anymore. The football gods are not favoring them quite as much. And also the human element of, I'm all for the constant progression to be the best, the undying drive, all of that. the Chiefs have been doing this for like 7-8 years now. Like, it is tough to continuously be at the mountaintop. So I wouldn't be surprised if they turned over a good chunk of the team they have in the offseason, even if they did, let's say, went out and got to even the Super Bowl and lost in the Super Bowl. If it's the AFC title game, the divisional round, no matter what it is, I don't think there will be any overlooking of stuff over the next handful of months. And for better or worse, I think there was a good deal of it because the results were so good that the process was kind of swept under the rug a little bit, and that can always be improved upon.
And, that's something that I don't feel like has been mentioned a lot as to reasons why this Chiefs team is struggling the way it is. We've heard things like lack of execution and poor mental focus and hubris, and like they've been so good for so long that they just expect it to happen. But do you think it could be burnout? Like you said,
Yeah.
I mean, this team has been playing football into late January, if not early February, every single year for the last 8 years. I mean, every other NFL team is playing a 17-game regular season, maybe 18 or 19 games on average. This Chiefs team is constantly playing 20 to 21 football games year after year after year. And a lot of it has been, I would say over the last 3 years with a pretty small circle of guys, this core of the group that maybe they're just wore out a little bit.
Yeah, multiple points off of that. The first one, it isn't like 2023 and 2024, the regular seasons were easy on them either. Like, I know that they went, 15-2 last year, and really the one loss, if you don't count the final game of the year. Like, a lot of those games were draining. They were tough. You need, in order to sustain this level of dynasty, and people forget, and I think that it's probably the most commonly thrown around thing these days, the Patriots went 10 years between Super Bowl wins in their dynasty. Like, it's impossible to do what the Chiefs just did over the past 5 or 6 years twice in a row. You're going to have gap years. You're going to have mini rebuilds. You're going to have soft resets, whatever you want to call it, retooling periods that don't end in Super Bowl appearances, Super Bowl wins. And if you have a entire coaching staff, front office staff, and 53-man roster, and probably a few practice squad signings, and every trade you make during the year, and every free agent signing you make during the year, if those are all wired like a Michael Jordan or a Kobe Bryant, knock yourself out. You can cover up quite a bit. And this is not an indictment on anybody on the Kansas City Chiefs, but just that human element of constant success, constant attention, constant pressure to be the best. Like, it would get to 99.9% of people. That's just the law of averages. And I do think that you'll never be able to prove it for better or worse, but that burnout absolutely has to be at the forefront of someone's mind. And if not on their mind, they're at least showing it maybe in their play.
So looking at this team, and again, not saying that the season is over. We're not already looking ahead to the offseason necessarily, but it's obvious and apparent to anybody who watches the Chiefs or is a fan of the Chiefs, there are glaring holes on this roster. There are things that need to be patched up in order to improve this team for next year and in the immediate future. If you had to point out one particular thing, it could be a position group, it could be a player, it could be a coach, that you think would have the biggest impact on this team's chances of success moving forward, what would that be?
I'm going to cheat so hard here and pick one group on offense and one on defense if I can. I think that the running back spot has to be addressed in some way, and that doesn't mean trade up for Jeremiah Love or tank the rest of the season for him. You don't even have to take a running back in the first 2 rounds of the draft. But, you have to either find a really impactful one mid to late day 2 of the draft, or you have to make a J.K. Dobbins type of signing, that level of player, a Rico Dowdle type move, a Javonte Williams type move. And it isn't like the Chiefs haven't tried to go after guys and get in talks for Breece Hall and sign Elijah Mitchell, but their moves just haven't worked out. And that's partially just the run of the process and how things break and shake out. But also they have to be more proactive. I think it's smart with their scouting process. And you mentioned the hubris that they've kind of displayed a little bit. They have to go for traits, I think, and youth and sometimes inexperience and athleticism and things like that. Parlaying into my point here, defensively, they need pass rush guys that can bring juice. You can't have a bunch of Mike Danas or Ashton Gelatis early in his career. Yes, they tried with Felix. Charles Amenahu brought some before he got hurt. Again, the process generally was okay. Some of their results didn't pan out, but they've given themselves too thin of margins. So if I had to pick like one trait to go after, it's something like juice, punch, edge, something like that, athleticism, and you get that at running back, and then I think you get it at either interior defensive line next to Chris Jones, or you find a impactful defensive end.
I like it. I'm with you all the way. Jordan, appreciate you taking the time tonight, my man. Insightful as always. Hopefully we get a chance to talk here coming up soon about a Chiefs team that is still in the mix for a playoff hunt, but we'll wait and see.
Yep, sounds good. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Again, that was Jordan Foote. He is a writer for Heavy on Sports, covering the Kansas City Chiefs and the National Football League as a whole. Appreciate him joining us. 913-586-7965 is our number. We got some Major League Baseball news I want to get to here coming up next on After Hours. Logan Weber alongside Jackson Ogden, 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Hi, guys. This is the Rocket Roger Clemens. You don't pitch in the majors for 24 years without feeling it later. Shoulders, elbows, knees. Trust me, pain doesn't retire when you do.
That's baseball legend Roger Clemens.
I tried the ice. I tried rest, PT, nothing really worked. When I heard about QC Kinetics, the concept sounded promising. Non-surgical regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself without surgery. Sign me up, just what I needed, real lasting relief.
Whether you're a former pro, a weekend golfer, or just want to walk around pain-free again, QC Kinetics uses cutting-edge technology and natural biologics to help restore and repair damaged tissue.
I trusted them with my joints. Now I'm back doing what I love.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
Ben, it's the holidays, a time of love and joy. But if you suffer from erectile dysfunction, the season can be tough on you. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And if you and your partner are experiencing struggles because of ED, change it up this year. Give the best gift you can give to the one you love by treating your ED and restoring your relationship. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts at treating ED. And as a Prometic restorative health practice, we've literally seen countless thousands of relationships renewed across the nation. Plus, with treatments having success rates well over 90%, coupled with many treatment options, we can likely find the right one for you. You may even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us and give your partner the best gift you can give this season, a renewed, restored relationship. Your first visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in our office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Football season is in full swing, and however you like to get in on the action, you can do it on Underdog right now in Missouri. This season, you can make team picks and player picks. Just download the app, sign up, and you'll get $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Using Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite team will win or if your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Plus, with Underdog's ultra-fast payouts, you can get your profits in a snap. So download the app today and use promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to score $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Player picks, team picks, all at Underdog. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing at terms_DFS_.html for details. Concern with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Hi, I'm Emily, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, where a small box with a burgundy bow will help you win the holidays. As an in-house designer, I love creating meaningful, fine jewelry gifts. Choose a necklace with a gorgeous infinity charm to symbolize your everlasting love. Or go for a personalized piece with an engraving, their zodiac sign, favorite color gemstone, or their initial accented with pave diamonds. Because a friend wants you to be a holiday hero. Stop by or shop now at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Men, if the long lines to the bathroom have been holding you back from attending sporting events and you're waking up in the middle of the night dealing with frequent urination, it could be an enlarged prostate. Jeff Montgomery here to talk about the minimally invasive procedure I had that made a big difference. I went to Dr. Brown at Miva Medical, the leader in minimally invasive treatments in Kansas City. The procedure was quick and easy, and I'm very happy with the result. Don't put up with being uncomfortable. Contact Miva Medical. That's MIVA-medical.com.
Hey folks, I've got a couple of important questions for you. Do you know how much money you need to retire? Do you have a plan in place for your loved ones? If your answer is no, it's time to get your financial planning on track with UMB Private Wealth. It's never too late to start. Plus, their team supports you at every step of the planning process. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule your appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth. Why not start today?
Pain has a way of stealing the moments that matter most, especially during the holidays. It's not just your knees, back, or shoulder. It's time away from your family and friends. But in 2026, all that could change when your body remembers how to heal. It just needs a little help finding the way back. At QC Kinetics, right here in Kansas City, we believe relief doesn't have to come from surgery or pain pills. We use your body's own natural healing abilities to repair and restore what's been lost, helping you move, live, and feel like yourself again. It's your body's comeback story, powered by the very cells that built you in the first place. No surgery, no pain pills, no long recovery. Just your body remembering how to feel alive again. QC Kinetics delivers long-term relief, finally. So schedule your free consultation today and use your HSA or FSA before the year ends. Call 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, it's QC Kinetics.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Lunch hour? Fuel up fast with lunch at the Lodge. Bite into our juicy cheeseburger and fries, fresh chicken Caesar salad, or turkey avocado smash with sweet potato fries. Hearty, quick, and made to satisfy. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Save time when you shop online with Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee makes it easy to order groceries online through our app or Hy-Vee.com. Pickup is always free. And if you have a Perks Plus membership, you get free delivery and free express pickup. Shop online with Hy-Vee and you can create and save grocery lists, shop the sales, and get fuel savers. Talk about convenience. Order groceries online today. Check out Hy-Vee.com or download the Hy-Vee app.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done, with precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Okay, so I'm not quite sure how to make out this article. The AP reported earlier today that the Hall of Fame reveals that the committee will be considering players like Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens for Cooperstown this year. Okay? There are 16 members of this committee considering an 8-man Hall of Fame ballot. Among the players on that ballot include guys like Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Don Mattingly, Dale Murphy is on this, possibly on this list as well. Gary Sheffield is another player that is being tossed around. Both Bonds and Roger Clemens were Hall of Fame candidates, but of course went past that 10-year BBWAA ballot, so now it goes to the contemporary sort of a ballot. Bonds at his highest got 260 votes, which is 66%. Clemens got 65.2%. At its highest, Gary Sheffield just under 64. All three of these guys have, of course, the PED history, right? Gary Sheffield tested positive in 2002, said that he was unaware of the substances that he was using. It didn't know that they even contained steroids. Roger Clemens has vehemently maintained for years and years and years and years that he never used performance-enhancing drugs. Barry Bonds denied knowingly using performance-enhancing drugs. My question: why do we give a damn? I'm sorry. Barry Bonds is the best baseball player, arguably, of all time. I would say it's him, or it's the guy wearing white and blue in Los Angeles right now. I don't want to hear Babe Ruth. Yeah, wow, he did things in the 1920s when, as we all know, lots of people weren't allowed to play Major League Baseball. I digress. You want to argue Ken Griffey? That's fine. Health and things of that nature maybe kind of killed that chance for him. But Barry Bonds is a Hall of Famer. Steroids or not.
I've said it ever since they didn't let him in. I don't care about the Baseball Hall of Fame until he's in.
Yeah.
And if he's not in it, it doesn't matter. He is better than any player in the Hall of Fame right now.
100%.
He is. Yes, he used steroids. So did everybody during that era. And guess what? The ratings were sky high. Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds hitting 60 bombs each. It was beautiful for the game of baseball.
Roger Clemens won 7 Cy Young Awards. Now, did he use PEDs or did he not? I do not care.
Don't care. It was fun to watch. And the name that didn't come up that I'm interested, no Pete Rose? They're still not considering him?
He is not mentioned within this article on ESPN.
I was going to say, if we're going to start opening the door for these other guys, Pete Rose was a hell of a player too.
Yeah, I don't see anything within this article about Pete Rose being considered for the Baseball Hall of Fame.
They're harder on gambling than PEDs.
I guess so.
Even though he was betting on himself and, the Reds.
In fairness, there were also some other things with Pete Rose outside of the gambling that got him into some trouble as well. You know, we can mention the gambling as much as we want because that was actually something associated with the game of baseball, but there were some other extenuating circumstances off the field that obviously did not look great for him at the same time. Yeah, Bonds is a Hall of Famer for just his Pittsburgh years alone. It's no question. Yeah. Guys, the MVPs, the home runs, all those things are well and good. He was the best player in baseball when he was playing for the Pirates, long before the PEDs.
He was getting intentionally walked with the bases loaded in the World Series.
Yeah.
You've never seen a guy, and you'll never see a guy with that treatment again.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The guy's arguably the GOAT. That's going to do it for our program tonight. For my producer, Jackson Ogden, I'm Logan Weber. Thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for getting involved in the text line. Back tomorrow from 7 to 9 p.m. right here on After Hours on 96.5 The Fan.
listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks.